What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Alex Cuesta Show. How's everybody doing out there on this Wednesday, July 26, 2024 for episode number 130? Dave, hi. How are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well as always. Now, tonight is debate night. First presidential debate of the 2024 election cycle. We're going to talk a little bit about that. It's actually going on now as we speak, but we'll get into that a little more before we get into all the fun stuff. If you are watching on YouTube, if you are watching on X, if you're watching, we're not live on X. How did that happen?
That's nice.
What's going on here? Let's look here. The hell? Well, it says streaming, so okay. Hi, everyone on X. I guess it was wrong, but hi, everybody. So if you're watching on X, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching, we appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a subscription. Tell everybody that you are watching and tell them to go watch. If you're watching on Facebook, hello. We appreciate you watching. Go give us a follow over there. And if you are watching on X, give us a shout out there and everything, and retweet, repost, whatever it is. We appreciate everybody for watching. We're gonna have a good show tonight, as we always do. Last week we had a fun show. We had Danny and Giuliano D, conservative thinkers and streamers, on the show, and Dave, we just got to shooting the shit about a whole bunch of things conservative. We talked about Just Stop Oil. We talked about immigration. We talked about Louisiana throwing the 10 Commandments in the classroom. We covered a whole lot of bases. It was a really good time. I recommend everybody go back and give that a watch, give that a listen, because it was lots of fun. Before we get started with all of our good stuff, I want to give a shout out. I'm going to start doing something new, something fun, where we kind of talk about our friends, people that are still friends of the show. Give them shout outs. Our buddy, Keith Malinak, he is a producer over at The Blaze, for the Pack Ray Unleashed show. And he also has his own show here, At the Mic with Keith. And you see the tagline, everybody has a story. If you want to go and watch his live streams, Thursday, 2 p.m. At Thursdays at 2 p.m., he does an At the Mic deep dive. He has guests on. They go into some of the deeper topics and, get into some fun stuff. And then on Fridays, also at 2 p.m., he has a more lighthearted live stream where he talks with guests. They just hang out. They just chat. David was on a previous show. February 9th, he was over there with Tim Ruth. And I will be on there on July 26th. And I will be
Tim
on.
Young, not Tim. Tim Ruth, where'd that come from?
Tim Young. Jesus, not Tim.
Yeah, Tim Young.
Sorry. Tim Young. And I will be on with Steve Baker, journalist for The Blaze, and also being prosecuted by the DOJ for being a journalist. So it's going to be a good time. But everybody go out there, go support Keith, click subscribe. David's already subscribed, but that's what I would like you to do. Go over there and click subscribe. And if you want to as well, you can go to the link right there, At the Mic, youtube.com/At the Mic. So definitely go give a shout out, give some love to Keith over there. So this week we have no guest. We were supposed to have someone on. Things hit the fan. That's why we are here on Thursday. I said Wednesday. Thursday. It's Thursday, July 27th. This is all fucked up tonight, Dave. This is not going well.
All right.
So far. This is
through. Power through.
We will persevere, damn it. But no guest tonight. That just means that David and I get to have lots of fun. We get to talk about a whole bunch of different things. And we do. And we're going to start off right away. We have the first presidential debate tonight, like I said. Obviously, it's Trump versus Biden. And I want to first talk, Dave. RFK Jr. fans are bitching, as always, that he's not on there. Now, in his defense, they have made the rules really stupid. If it comes to polling, he might have a chance, but they made the polls, like, they always rig it so that outside of Ross Perot, and I think the leftists don't do it because Ross Perot didn't help. But I mean, they will try to make it so that they can't get in. And there was a bunch of rules, right, Dave, that they implemented. Is that what you have pulled up over here, the rules?
Well, yeah, for the debate itself, yes.
Yep, for the debate itself. So here are what the rules are going to be for the debate tonight. So let's see. So it's an early
runs 90 minutes.
Runs 90 minutes. It starts at 9. So it's going on right now. Dave is monitoring it over there. If anything big happens, Dave will jump.
Yeah, if I look very out of it, it's because I'm watching the debate.
He's watching it. And then, Dave, you can also find some if you see anything, go search X for some clips. We could throw some clips up and things like that.
Yeah.
The reason why we're not covering the debate is because CNN is being really fucking gay about what they're allowing people to do. Now, they are allowing all the major networks to simulcast this, which is weird, I think. But all the major networks. So if you hate CNN, if you're more of an MSNBC guy, a Fox News guy, you can go watch it there. They're allowing them to simulcast. What they're not doing is they are making sure that YouTube can't get in. It's specifically YouTube because they're saying, hey, if you have a Rumble, if you have a Locals, if you have some sort of paid subscription, cool. Maybe not even Rumble, but if you have like
I say
local,
Rumble's actually down right now, which is
yeah,
funny.
if you have Locals or something like a paid subscription, your own website, you could simulcast there. Cool. They're specifically going after YouTube, which I find to be bizarre. And I wonder, they're going to sit there and they're going to cease and desist everyone that does live commentary. So while we are a relatively small stream, I'd rather not get a strike if I can avoid it. We like streaming weekly and we'd rather not have to skip one if we don't have to. But right here, each candidate's microphone will be muted when it's not his turn to speak. They were both given a pad and a paper, pen and a bottle of water before debate began. No pre-written notes allowed. There's no studio audience in attendance. They won't be able to have any contact with staffers during commercial breaks. And also, not in there, they're not allowed to sit. They have to stand the whole time, all 90 minutes. And on top of that, I think Poso highlighted another tweet that I saw that they are doing a 1 to 2 minute delay. It's not the typical 7-second delay. It's a 1 to 2 minute delay on the actual video that you're watching, which is unheard of, right? 1 to 2 minutes. That is absolutely ridiculous because, it's going into the fact that they could selectively edit this.
I do want to bring to attention that I was going to talk about the beginning of this debate real quick because I saw the beginning with like no split attention. And it started off, Joe did not look, he already looked old in the beginning of the debate, had his very like soft voice, like an old person. So he didn't start off well. And Trump kind of started off slow for me too, but he's better right now, at least from what I'm hearing. But Biden, he said, for one of the answers, he said, we finally beat Medicare, which, yeah, he's not looking great right now. There's some cognizance there. I saw him smirk at something Trump said and everything, but like, it's not great. It's not his best look right now.
So, Dave, if you are on the Trump team, what are you saying is the strategy against Biden tonight? What should he be doing? What should he be talking about if you're his team?
Well, there's a difficulty here because of the rules implemented by CNN, but I also feel like Trump actually kind of walked into this with the rules because he's basically punished Trump right now. Like that's his arc. So people watching it that already are Trump fans or maybe even slightly leaning towards it will at least glom some kind of sympathy for him because he's going into the lion's den. Maybe they'll think he's a bit stupid, but they'll also think that like this is just ridiculous. But what it seems like they started off with Trump. Trump seems to kind of be fighting his nature of going off in tangents, but so far he's been, at least from what I've been able to hear and glean, he's actually doing pretty well answer wise and trying to give his side of the story and doing everything without even like trying to talk over Biden or anything. But like I said, Biden is honestly the story right now with him being slow. Like he's actually being a bit sleepy Joe, which is not great because it's not even 20 minutes in. So
yeah, and I think like a good thing that Trump needs to hammer at Biden is not necessarily get personal per se with a lot of things, but just like asking him like every once in a while, like starting off and being like with his answer, like being like, Joe, are you okay? Like, are you good? Like trying to seem genuine, right?
He doesn't even need to
make Joe seem, but not even that, but like try and seem like genuine, like not joking around. Like if like Joe like has an issue, like if he obviously has an issue to an answer, like just have Trump. Like I think what they should be telling him is like seem genuine and just be like, hey, I couldn't understand what his answer was. Are you okay, Joe? Like, do we need to take a break here?
I think there could be something there, but right now he's really attacking. He seems to be very much attacking on positions, on things he's done, on things that are failing under the Biden administration. So I actually think he's doing pretty well right now. There is something you could do right there, but apparently I couldn't fucking see it. But apparently he got cut off by the journalist. Like this is bad. This is.
Well, here's the thing. Here's a few, like, it's funny. Jake Tapper has constantly called him a Nazi. So that's,
they didn't cut off Trump. They cut off Biden because of how he looked.
Oh, so they're trying to help him out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not surprising. The thing that we see that they're going to do, and they do it anyway, they're going to Biden-splain. when Biden says a whole bunch of gibberish and bullshit, and we saw them do it in 2020, when Biden would say something that wasn't, legit or legible, they would rephrase it as they were trying. Because, sometimes like they'll take an answer and be like, what do you think about this? They'll rephrase it and then ask Trump. And it wasn't exactly at all what Biden said.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see a lot of that tonight. Now, Tapper has called Trump a Nazi constantly over the past 8 years. You have Dana Bash, right? Her ex-husband is one of the 51 intelligence experts that said that the Hunter thing was a Russian laptop was misinformation. There was not a single way that these two individuals are going to be fair to Trump. And I think the one confidence Trump has is it seems like every time he walks into CNN, he absolutely eats their fucking lunch. That town hall that he
But that's with an audience. That's the thing. That's with an audience. So it is different when you don't have an audience there, because Trump likes to play to an audience. That's where he gets his energy. That's where he gets his groove going.
So I am curious though, because Trump does have a charm about him, right? And it was not too long ago. It's less than a decade ago. He's friends with all these people. Dana Bash, Jake Tapper. Like, he was fine with all of them. He was going on CNN, things like that. Like, they really started to turn on him with the Obama truther stuff. That's when all of the left started to turn on him, because he went out there darling, right? But it was like, it wasn't that long ago. They were all fine with Donald Trump. And I really feel like, they're trying to not have the audience there to help Joe Biden in order to to keep it so that, you can't get the reactions. But I also think that having Trump alone with just those three of them and maybe just whatever crew is there might work to his favor, because during the breaks, he's going to be talking to Joe. He's going to be talking to Jake. He's going to be talking to Dana. And I mean, they're not going to not be personable, because it's easy to be an asshole. It is. It's real easy to be an asshole. I think they're going to be fine. Because here's the thing. It is, Dave, you've been here before. People hate confrontation. People hate confrontation. So in person, they're probably going to be just fine. You know what I mean? They'll be fake. But I also feel like Trump does have a charm about him. And I feel like Trump isn't going to be a dickhead to Jake. He's not going to be a dickhead to Dana. He's going to be just fine and might be able to work them enough. Not where they're going to be nice to him, but where they'll at least be more fair than typical, because they're not going to have the crowd behind them when he makes fun of them in person, right? So there's not going to be like the crowd reaction of laughing when he went at Megyn Kelly. The crowd was like, "Oh shit!" And that turned Megyn Kelly into a leftist for like 3 straight years. And now for some reason she's back in the conservative fold. I will never understand why we let Megyn Kelly back. I don't give a shit that she's a journalist that gets scoops. She is not on the right, but I digress. Megan, if you're hearing this, come on the show. We could talk. But anyway, it's I don't know. I don't think it.
Oh shit! Wait. Biden, hold up. Biden gave an answer. I couldn't hear everything. Biden gave an answer at the end of. Oh wow, he looks bad. At the end of it, he said probably some nonsense, and then Trump said, literally starting his answer, said, "I don't know what he said at the end of the sentence. I don't even think he knows what he said at the end of that sentence."
Which is exactly what he needs to do, because he needs to draw attention in the national audience. And here's the thing: the people that aren't going to vote for Trump are just going to be like, he's being mean, and they were going to do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
But those middle of the rung people that debates actually kind of sway, or they even at least like look at it. If he can just highlight those types of things, they're going to look at it and go, man, I'm not a huge fan of Trump, but we cannot put Biden back in the White House. Like, highlighting that, like, what do you say? We're 23 minutes in out of 90.
Yes.
And he's already
not being able,
at 2 commercial breaks. He's already not being able to put sentences together. And I'm sorry, his aides are attending to him during these commercial breaks. That rule is being broken left and right. And I really hope Trump has a mic or something on him, or like his own like little mini camera, so he can film all the shit going on during the breaks, because they're not following that rule. They're absolutely helping him. But that's I like this. I like this whole entire live David's reaction thing that we have going on. So anything else that you think can help or hurt Trump right now?
Right now, he's doing fine. He's doing great. He's got to not implode himself, and then he's all right. Like, look like Trump, give your answers. Some of them people may not like, some of them people may love. But right now, he's fucking great. He's flying fucking high. Unless they give Biden some type of cocktail that works in the commercial break to make him at least seem better, at least seem cognizant of where he is and what he's doing, it's a bad night. It is a bad night for the Democrats. I mean, depending on what kind of theories you think, there might not be a bad night.
I was going to say, do you think that they are trying to say, like,
no,
we have to get somebody in now? Look at that.
I kind of think they would have done it before this, because they already ran the defense line of cheap fakes, which is ridiculous. Because like that's even wrong.
I'm sorry,
but
that wasn't intentional. Kareem Jean-Pierre is just a fucking idiot. Okay, he did not mean to say cheap.
Not how it's supposed. That's not what it
did not mean to say it. It was a meme. That woman cannot speak. We have discovered this. Peppermint Patty was a much better press secretary than, and I don't want to say that, whatever her name is, Jen Psaki was good at, and I will say Psaki. Circle back was good at anything, but man, Corinne Jean-Pierre makes Jen Psaki look fantastic.
Yeah,
except Jen Psaki has a show now, and she sucks on that. Anyway, but okay, so Dave, we're gonna jump into another topic, right? But I just want you to keep on monitoring debate and kind of just like
I'll be watching, and I'll be, if I'm in and out, just remind me of what the hell you said, because this is kind of wild.
I mean, I wish that we could throw this up on the screen, because I think it would be gold if we could throw this up on the screen.
I think I did see it up on the screen for someone else. I mean, we could take the chance if you want.
I mean, we're small. Do you really think, and we could provide commentary over it, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to share?
Yeah.
Can you get up on your computer and we'll share? Let's do that. We could talk our other topics if we want to. Maybe during commercial breaks, we could talk Kotaku, and we could talk, Mikal Bridges trade. But all right, so let's throw this up.
It's a very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie.
That's incredible. That's the first thing that we get to.
Better off since I passed the PACT Act.
But you could
1 million of them
hear that his voice is already gone. This is from the beginning of the debate, by the way. From the absolute beginning of the debate.
Burn pits.
The thing is, too,
and he
has that angry look about him, right? That's his go-to, and I don't know if he has another one.
My son spent a year in Iraq.
I didn't even just 4 years ago during the debates at least had more emotions, right? The only thing he has now is this.
In France.
Yeah, no, it's not great. You'll see it. He'll do it again. His mouth like is hanging open. It's kind of, he looks out of it.
We mentioned Keith Malinak. Keith has that great show, great shirt that just says "Close your damn mouth."
Yeah, because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser. Was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Oh, he's trying to. Oh my God!
Wow,
yeah, that's pretty bad.
Quote, suckers and losers.
That's pretty bad.
Made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these
and I mean
he made that up.
That is a lie that's been pushed a lot. It's a lie that's going to be believed by a lot of people consistently. So I'm not surprised he went in that direction. I'm also not surprised that he brought up Bo, because he always wants to.
He always brings up Bo. But there's also, and look at him, he looks lost.
Nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers.
It's crazy.
To think that
maybe I give him the benefit of the doubt there. Like, mouth should be closed. There you go. But like, he does look like he's trying to look at Trump at least. There are times where he looked even more lost than this.
Russia was made up.
Like this is just elderly abuse in every which way, and that's the sad part.
Just like
it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. I'm seeing on Twitter that apparently Bosch is going absolutely insane because about Madness of Bosch, which I mean, not a person that matters much. It's just hilarious that people are stealing. But we knew this was going to happen. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We all knew.
Four-star general standing to your side was on your staff who said you said it. Period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history.
You could see Trump and their family wants to interrupt so bad, and he knows his mic isn't on.
Yeah, like I said, you could probably notice it, but they're trying to make him more disciplined, but also like he's kind of attacking as well. And so far, he's doing a pretty good job of it, to be quite honest.
The thing
better
is,
than we've seen him do before, because there's times where he's had to stick to script and be more contained, and he's been kind of boring and lazy, and he's not the Trump that people like. But right now, he's doing a lot better than he has in the past.
And I think, Trump is trying to turn it on in a sense that he's trying to make sure he looks younger and more spry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard. It's not fucking hard at this
Our
point.
veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had.
And I
They
think,
can't stand
and
him.
honestly,
So let's get that
I'm
straight.
honestly trying to
And they
be
like me
objective
more
about
than
this.
just
I don't want
about
to
any
just
of them.
bash Biden the
And
whole
that's
time
based on
because I know I
every
have my
single bit
biases.
of
Obviously,
information.
I've had
As
it.
far as
But
Russia
like,
and Ukraine,
it hasn't been
if we
looking
had a
good
real
all night. Like
president,
that
a
smile,
president that
being
knew,
like
that was
like I said,
respected
being
by
cognizant
Putin,
that Trump is
he would have
screwing
never, he
him
would have
is
never
actually a
invaded
good
Ukraine.
thing for him.
A
Do you
lot
think
of
he has
people
an
are
earpiece
dead right
in?
now, much more than people know. You
Do you
know,
think it's
they-
a hidden earpiece that's
you
like
can
telling
double
him to
those
smile?
numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I
It
think
would
he
be wild.
encouraged Russia from
Funny.
going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a
But
horrible
this is-
embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our
I
country.
mean,
This is
Trump sounds like
When
Trump.
Putin watched
Yeah.
that and he saw
And
the
there's been times
incompetence,
where, yeah,
should
he
have
has
fired
seemed a
those
little more
generals like I
tired, a
fired
little
the one that you
more,
mentioned.
you know,
And so
still
he's got no
Trump.
love lost.
This is
But he
Trump
should have
from
fired
Hillary
those
right now.
generals.
Like, this
No
is
general
Trump sounding
got
like
fired
Trump in the
for
Hillary
most
time. This is
embarrassing
what we want to see.
moment in the history of our country,
And
Afghanistan.
this is all
where we
he needs
left
to do.
billions of
Hell,
dollars
just
of
walked
equipment behind.
what
We
is
lost
happening at
13
CNN? Did you
beautiful
see that?
soldiers and 38
Yeah,
soldiers.
someone
Someone just walked in
And
front
by
of
the
the
way, we
fucking
left people
screen.
behind too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin
What
saw
the
that, he
fuck?
said,
Someone
"You
just
know
walked
what?
across.
I think we're going to go
There's
in
a
and
shadow.
maybe take my
What's happening
over there?
son's dream."
What
Don't throw
the hell
him on his
unprofessional
dream.
are you,
The
CNN?
difference is he never would have
God.
invaded
This-
Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business
And
with
this
them.
is-
They ran out of money.
This
They
is
were
just
broke. They
a
had
good
no money
answer.
for
Attack
Hamas.
his
They
positioning,
had no
attack
money for
Afghanistan,
anything.
attack
No
the
money
way
for terror.
things are
That's
going.
why you had no
I
terror
mean,
at
in
all
the end, he's
during
just
my
telling the truth.
administration. This place, the
That's
whole
all he's
world
doing is
is
telling the
blowing
truth.
up under him.
Yeah, either way, I'm just saying, like,
President Biden.
that's what he needs to
I've
do.
never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter
Hey,
is,
that's not
we're in a
bad. That's
situation
not
where,
bad
let's
for
take the last point first.
But the expectations are
Iran
so low.
attacked
That's the sad
American
truth.
troops,
Expectations are
killed
so
or
low.
caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did
Yeah,
none
but
of them
why
both.
are the thing
He
is
said
though?
none of
Why
them's
are they
crazy.
there? And
Why
that's
did
the
they
question.
attack?
American
He
troops
said
are
they're
there.
just having headaches. That's all. it
Why
is.
is Iran
He
able
didn't
to
do a
attack them?
thing when the attack took place? Number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out
No.
of Afghanistan
Yeah, this is-
during that era.
I don't
Number
understand
three,
why,
we found ourselves in a
if you're on
situation
that
where
team, you
take a
actually
look
try
at
to
what
defend
Trump did in
Afghanistan.
Ukraine.
I genuinely, like,
This guy
er,
told Ukraine,
can't say a
told
lot
Trump,
about this.
Do whatever you want.
No,
And do
no,
whatever
you can't say
want.
because here's the thing.
And that's exactly what
Trump had a
did.
plan, and Trump needs to go back and say, like, I had my plan. This was the date that I wanted them out. You pushed it back to September 11th to make it a political statement, and it was a disaster because you made it obvious and open, and the Taliban was ready to go and roughshod in because of you making it such an obvious thing. I wanted to do it in a covert, proper way that my military wanted to do it.
President Trump,
I
can I
never
come
said
back
But
to
that's
you
the thing,
for
though, is that,
1
like,
minute? I just want to go back to my
if you're
original
Biden, you
question,
don't bring
which
up,
is,
like,
are
you don't really
peace
defend
terms
Afghanistan at all. Because,
acceptable
like,
to
you
you?
can't.
Keeping the
Because you're not going to win
territory
that battle. Like, that's
No, you're not
just simply not going to happen.
Yeah, it was
But
really
look,
bad.
this is a war that never
I'm
should have
surprised our
started.
stream hasn't been
If we
taken
had a
down yet.
leader
They're
in
like
this war,
they're
he
DMCAing
let
everyone
everybody
trying to take
along.
them down. Apparently,
He's given
Yeah.
$200
well, that was a
billion
rumor. Who knows if it
now or
happens?
more
There might be too many
to
ones to do
Ukraine.
it. There's
He's
going to be
given
thousands of
$200
people on
billion.
YouTube
That's a
doing
lot
this.
of
So
money. I
it's
don't
really
think
hard to
there's ever
DMCA
been
all of
anything
them.
like it.
Yeah.
Every time that Zelensky comes
This
to
is
this
fair
country,
use.
he walks away
We're
with
giving
$60
commentary
billion.
over it.
He's the
Yeah.
greatest salesman
I'm
ever.
sorry if people
And
don't
I'm
like
not
how much
knocking
we're
him.
talking
I'm not
over this. I
knocking
just don't
anything.
want to take him
I'm
down.
only
So
saying
I'm
Yes.
not
the
trying to
money
have any
that
dead
we're
air.
spending
At least
on
not
Yes.
this
that
war.
much.
And we
And
will
we shouldn't be spending.
highlight things
It
if
should have
things
never
happen. As
happened.
we're also
I will
listening.
have
We
that war
understand if
settled
Yeah.
you're
between
getting
Putin
frustrated.
and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People
love
being
it.
killed
I
so
love it.
needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled. and
This
I'll
is where
get
he's
it
going to win
settled
over
fast before I
libertarians and a
take
lot of the
office.
populist right. This has been his
Biden, you have
position
to
the whole time.
Mhm.
Loss of life is
fact
bad.
is
I
that
want to
Putin
end
is
the
a war
war.
criminal.
Yep.
He's killed thousands and thousands of people, and he has made one thing clear. He
The
wants
sad
to
thing is,
reestablish what
this is going to
part of
be
the
a
Soviet
Biden
Empire,
win
not just
because
a
he just
piece or
knows
all
what
of
the answer
Ukraine.
is being,
That's what
the
he
question
wants.
that's being
And then you
asked.
think he'll stop
That's
there?
how they're going to
You
say
think
this. He
he'll
was able to
stop when
actually answer every
if he
question.
takes
Not that he was
Ukraine?
able to
What do
answer
you
it
think
well,
happens to Poland?
but the
What do you
fact
think
that he
will
knew
be
that they were talking about Russia, and he was coherent enough to do it.
And so if you
That's all they're going to give a shit about. He was coherent enough to do it. That's what's sad.
In fact, he does what he
We're not
says
going to worry
and
about his
walks
actual
away.
performance.
By the way,
We're
All
going to
that
worry
money
about
we give
was he
Ukraine
just able to?
weapons we
He
make here in
made
the
it through
United States,
90
we give them
minutes.
the
It's like
weapons,
what the fuck?
not the money
No,
at
it
this
doesn't
point.
matter.
And our NATO
He gives
allies
good answers.
produced
No,
as
he never
much
does.
funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
What? That's
Thank you. Moving
what's
on to the
funny-
Middle
Dude,
East.
Hit him
In
for the
October, Hamas
Maybe it's me,
attacked
but
Israel,
you don't bring
killing
up the
more
funding
than
to
1,000
Ukraine.
people and
People
taking
don't like how
hundreds
much
of
money is going to
hostages.
Ukraine.
Among those held
going
and
not
thought
well
to
in
still
America.
be alive are
Just don't
5
bring up how much
Americans.
money you're giving to them.
Israel's response
Maybe
has
bring
killed
up that we
thousands of
back Ukraine. You
Palestinians
could do
and
that.
created a
Bring up that we
humanitarian
back
crisis in
Ukraine.
Gaza.
Don't bring up how much you fund
President
them.
Biden,
Because that just reminds people
You've
that their
put
money is
forward
there
a
instead of
proposal to
more
resolve this
domestic
conflict,
utilities that they want.
but so far
Now, this
Hamas
topic's going to
has
hurt
not
both of them with
released
Israel and
the
Hamas.
remaining
It's going to hurt
hostages.
Biden
Israel
worse
is
because he has the
continuing
far
its
leftists that
military
really hate the
offensive in
fact that he
Gaza.
supports Israel
So
this much.
what
You're going to hear
additional
in his
leverage
answer,
will
if
you
he knows
use
what's going on.
to
Look at
get
his face right now.
Hamas
Holy
and
shit.
Israel to
He
end the
can't
war?
blink.
You have 2
He's on
minutes.
so much
Number one.
Prozac that he can't
Everyone
blink.
from the United Nations Security Council
No
straight through
way.
the
Holy
G7.
shit. He
to
has a
Israelis
stutter,
and Netanyahu
guys.
himself have
At
endorsed the
least
plan I
that
put
said it
forward.
as a stutter.
Endorsed the plan I put forward.
Yeah, it can be played
There's
off.
just 3 stages to it. The first stage is
Oh, I
trade
want to see if he remembers the stage.
hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a
Okay,
ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is
Wait, 2 ceasefires?
the end of the war. The only one who wants
Wait,
the war to continue is
hold on!
Hamas, number one.
He
They're the
wants
only ones standing up.
hostages with the
They're still
ceasefire
pushing
and a
hard
ceasefire with extended
to get
conditions
them
and the
to
end of the
accept.
war.
In the
Those are his
meantime,
3
What's
stages.
happened? In
2
Israel,
ceasefires and an end of the war.
only
That is not
I
a
was trying to
plan.
listen. I don't know if I caught it yet.
It's not a fucking plan. That is a wish list. That's not an actual plan.
They need and when they need
There's
them.
nothing there.
By
Yeah,
the
of
way,
course we want a
I'm the
fucking
guy that
ceasefire. We want the
organized
hostages
a
back and we
war
want the
against
war to
Iran
end. But
when I
how?
had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic
not a plan.
missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed. And
I hope
as
Trump
we
asked
said,
him about the
we
failed
saved
Lambert
Israel.
that
are
we
the
had
biggest
soldiers fired at, what the
producer
plan was with that
support for
Lambert.
Israel of anyone in the world.
That
And so
Trump's-
they're 2 different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people to the housing.
He's going to
of
lose
Hamas
so much
like we
support
did
for
Bin
this
Laden.
because what
You
he's
don't have
saying
to
is
do
he
it. And by the way, they
the wars can
greatly
continue.
weakened Hamas. Greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful.
Right there,
for
he wants the war to
using
continue.
certain
The
weapons.
people that support the
No, he
Palestinians,
said he said Hamas should be eliminated, right?
he did. But the
Getting
people that
back
want
to
the
Ukraine
Palestinians
for
also
Yeah,
believe that Hamas
those
is
marching
have
for
an
Palestine
ocean
don't
separating
want.
us.
Yeah, that's
European
where he
nations
loses. But I don't
together
think I'm not gonna lie to you.
have
I don't know
spent
how much he
100
necessarily had
billion
that in
or
the first
maybe
place.
more than that.
I'm not gonna
less
lie.
than
I don't
us.
know how much he really had that in
Why
the first
doesn't he
place.
call them?
Coming
He's
out and
gotta put up
condemning
the money
Hamas
like I did with
more
NATO.
of the
I
right
got
thing
them
to do
put
in his
hundreds
position.
of
He's
billions
put
of
awful there.
dollars as Secretary General.
That's more of the right
NATO
thing to do
said,
in
"This
his
is the most
position.
incredible
all
job
the
I've ever
memes
seen."
we're going to
They
get
would-
just
they
out
would
of
have any- they
Biden's
would run out
faces
of
when he's
business.
trying to
spending
listen.
Almost 100% of the money was
And here's the
paid
thing,
by
I feel
us.
bad for him in this way
He didn't do
because
that.
he's not doing anything
You gotta
different than
ask these
any
people to
other
put up
old
the money.
man does,
We're
right? When
over
they're trying to
$100 billion
focus, they
more
really
spent,
do
and
give
it
that
has a
hard
bigger
stare, and
impact
he's
on them
giving his best
because of
to
location,
stay
because we
focused,
have an
to
ocean
actually
in
listen to
between.
Trump, and he's
You
doing a
gotta
pretty
ask
good
him,
job
as
in
far
that
as
sense. But the issue
Israel-
To be
is
honest,
that
he
shouldn't be
looks
the
more
bar.
alive. He looks more
Israel's the
alive
one
when
that
Trump
wants
is
to go. He said
answering and
the
he's
only
like
one that wants
reacting
to
to what
keep
Trump
going
is
is
saying.
Hamas.
That
Like he looks
should be
Actually,
the
this
bar.
was
much
the one,
more there.
and you should
But
let
that's
him
not
go
that's
and let him
not
finish
what
the
you
job.
need. That's
He
not
doesn't
good.
want to do it. He's
No,
become like
no.
a Palestinian,
Let's see.
but they don't
Whoa.
like him because he's a
told
very
him
bad
Palestinian.
Palestinian. He's a weak one.
Oh, I
President
can't
Biden,
believe
you
I
have a
just
minute?
said we should have
I've
let him
never heard
talk.
so much foolishness. This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. You're going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have.
Wait, hold on.
our
Wait, that's not a
strength
real
lies in
thing. He
our
didn't pull out
alliances as
NATO. He
well.
just wants them to pay their fair
Maybe
share.
a
It's a
big
lie.
issue,
Like
but
right there,
we
that's
were
an
able to avoid a
abject
war
lie.
in
He
Europe,
said he
a
would
major
pull
war
out of
in
NATO
Europe.
if they don't start
What
paying their
happens if,
fair
in fact,
share.
you have
Like,
continue to go
and
into
honestly,
NATO?
the only
There's
reason the
Article 5
Western
agreement.
nations can support
Attack on
Ukraine
wait,
and
wait,
Israel
wait.
right now is
You
because
wanna
he
start
made
that
them
kind
pay.
of war he keeps
Did you just
talking
go
about.
back to
Go ahead.
Putin?
Let Putin go in and control.
Was there a
Ukraine,
point to this?
and
Because
we're
I
gonna
like
move
Trump
on
ended
to
with
all the other
Palestinian.
places.
Maybe we missed something we were
It
talking
happens
while he was
then.
talking about
He
that.
has
But
no
why
idea what
will
the
he go
hell he's
back to
talking
Putin?
about. And
Maybe.
by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South
You
Korea.
know what, honestly?
Because they understand
Maybe this
that
format
this
isn't
kind of
bad.
dislocation.
I don't
Everyone
mind
just
this
shuts
format.
the fuck up
Like-
while one person answers. Like no one has a
major
mic
war
on.
has ever been able
Yeah.
to be
Bad.
contained just to Europe.
Because during the Republican
President
primaries, that
Trump,
was
just
fucking
to
terrible.
follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see,
That's an
but
interesting
before we
question.
do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the
answer
money.
here.
So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add them up, they're
Pivoting up
about
here.
the same size economically Their economy is about the same size as the
But
United States.
it's
And they
interesting
were written
that,
their cars.
you know,
they don't want anything that we have, but we're supposed to take
Trump's
their
trying to go
cars,
back
their
to his
food,
strength
their
right now,
everything,
which
their
is
agriculture.
economy, which is
That's
They
what
smart.
changed
Because
that.
he's
But
not
the big thing
a.
that changed is they don't want to pay.
I feel like a lot of his
And the
foreign
only
policy
reason
was because
that
of
he
guys
can
like, you might
play
hate him, but
games
Jared
with
Kushner
NATO
and
is
Stephen
because I
Miller and
got
things.
them
Well,
to put
Stephen
up
Miller was
hundreds
more
of
the
billions of
like
dollars.
the
I
medical
said,
stuff. But
and
there's
he's
like,
right about this.
and he
I
had
said,
Bolton in his
no,
ear, which I hope
I'm
he
not
didn't
going to
listen to.
support
But
NATO if you
you get
don't
other
pay.
people doing foreign
They asked me
policy.
that
I don't think he's a
question.
big
Would you
foreign
guard us
policy.
against
So it's like,
Russia at a very secret
it's
meeting
all
of the
business,
28
man. He makes business deals,
states at
even
that time,
in terms of foreign
nations at that
policy. It's
time.
all
And he
about
said, no, if you
getting
don't
business
pay,
back.
I won't
And
do
here we
that.
go.
And you
There
know
it
what
is.
happened?
Talking about NATO.
Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next month.
But that's
But
an
now
answer
we're in the
people are going
same
to like.
position. We're paying everybody's
Thank you.
bills.
Let's turn to the
Here
issue
we
of
go.
democracy. Former President Trump.
Oh, God,
I want to ask you about
democracy.
January 6, 2021.
Oh, my
After
Don't
the
answer.
rallies
This is
and
just you
protests
don't
that
answer.
day,
Don't
some
answer.
of them stormed the Capitol to stop
You don't answer this. You just say
constitutionally
no.
mandated
Answer
counting of
is saying you're
electoral
actually
votes.
going to get
As
rid of those
president,
that are
you
just
swore an oath
charged
to,
with
quote, preserve,
trespassing
protect, and
out of the
defend,
jail cell.
You don't even
the
give him that. Just
Constitution.
be like this. That
What
was
do
a
you say to voters
non-starter.
who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't
Jesus
think too
Christ.
many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th.
Good. I love it.
On
I love it.
January
Fuck him.
6th,
He's going to
we had
fuck
a great
himself.
border. Nobody coming through, very few.
We had a
On
great boy.
January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th,
I
we
like
had the
that.
lowest taxes
That's not
ever.
bad.
We had
Yeah,
the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were
I think
respected.
they rehearsed this
And then
one.
he comes in
They were ready for
and
this
we're
one.
now laughed at. We're like
Definitely.
a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible.
This is a good answer.
including
Don't even
weaponization.
acknowledge
he
that it
rejected
was
their
a bad
framing.
bet.
About,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
rejected their
yeah.
framing, said we were good at that time under me.
fair and square.
Yeah.
And then he's pushing it to
You
them.
have 80 seconds left.
Interesting.
My question
I'm not
was,
going
what do
to
you
talk
say
about
to
breaking my
those
oath. I didn't
voters
do
who
it. We were
believe that you
strong
Yeah.
under me.
violated your
He didn't even
constitutional
acknowledge
oath
anything he
through
said
your
on that
actions
day,
and
anything
inaction
about the
on
rally.
January 6th,
You
Yeah,
rejected
no,
the
that was
framing.
great.
He said, "Fuck
and
you."
worry that you'll do it again.
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and
And look at
patriotically.
Tapper, of course.
And Nancy
back
Pelosi, if
home.
you just watched the news from 2 days
Oh,
ago,
there we go. I like
on
this.
tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say.
And the maker.
She's saying,
Is he all right?
"Oh, no, it's my responsibility. I
What
was
is that, Charles? That's
responsible for
a,
this."
that's a great
Because I
meme. I'm
offered
not
her
going to lie.
10,000
Filmmaker.
soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C.
And the thing is,
Turned it
these are all
down.
factual.
I offered 10,000
Yeah.
because I could see. I
These
had
are all factual.
virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it.
Yeah,
And
there was
I
a lot
said,
of people
they ought
there.
to have
That's
some
true.
National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her, and she now admits that she turned it down.
This
And it
is
was
good.
the same day she
This
was,
is good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't be very happy
Not,
with
you
her
know,
daughter 'cause she
again,
made her into a
you're
liar.
saying,
She
saying
said,
your
I
premise
take
is
full
you didn't fall into the trap.
responsibility for
Yeah, he's
January
not floundering
6th.
about it. He's
President
he's
Biden?
very specific on his attacks on
He
who
encouraged those
he
who
felt
showed up
was
to
more
come
wrong.
Number
Yep,
one.
yep.
I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours. 3 hours watching,
And you know,
begging, being begged by
Biden
his vice
doesn't.
president,
Biden's
and a
just in
number
there
of his
telling the
colleagues
lies.
on the Republican side as well, to do something, to call for a
Trump
stop,
wants to interrupt so
end
bad.
it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots
great.
and great patrons of America. In fact, he
Biden
says
is-
he'll now forgive them for what they've done.
Well,
they've
you
been
need to
convicted.
forgive. You need to
He says he
fucking.
wants
They've
to
been held in
commute
solitary for
sentences
3 years,
and say
and a bunch of them haven't even had a trial.
He went
They
to
all,
every
at this
single
point,
court in the
they
nation.
all should be
I don't know how
pardoned
many
because this is
cases.
not whether they did something wrong or not.
Scores of
This
cases.
is
Not
not
how
just a
Supreme
system of
Court.
swift
And they said,
justice.
Yes.
they
This
said,
is political
"No,
prisoners.
this
Listen,
guy-
3
this guy
years is a
responsible
fucking lifetime for
doing what was
trespassing.
being-
Okay,
what was done.
you know what?
Did
The
do a
ones that
damn
trespass,
thing.
if you want to
And
hit
these
them with
people should be in
something,
jail.
they should have been
And
in and
they
out within a
should
year,
be in
minimum,
jail.
minimum.
Not
Maybe
even-
not,
I was
not
gonna say
even
not
in
even a
jail.
year.
If
If you're
Less-
going to sit there and put them in jail under a year, maybe the people that broke shit, the people that fought
Thank you,
police,
President
still
Biden.
shouldn't have them there that long. But man, that's
What they've
insane.
done to some people that
Let's
are
see,
so
here we go.
innocent,
I like
you ought
this.
to be ashamed of yourself.
Fuck
What you've
yeah.
done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down
Shit.
That's good.
many
Keep
other
going.
cities.
Keep
You go to
going.
Minnesota,
Keep
Minneapolis.
going. Fuck
What
yeah.
they've done there with the fire fires all over the
You
city.
could tell
If I
we're
didn't
voting
bring
for
in the
Trump.
National Guard, that's
Yeah,
been
you
destroyed.
know our bias.
And you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in
We're
the
just
National
going
Guard.
in
They
Chop,
heard
right?
that. They saw them coming and they left.
Talking about Chaz
immediately.
and Chop.
Yeah.
What he said about this whole subject is so off. peacefully,
There you
patriotic.
go.
One other
Boom.
thing. The Unselect Committee, which is
Unselect.
basically two
I love it.
horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they
good.
found because
See, the
they
thing is,
found out we
this
were
is
right.
information that
We
people
were right.
watching this that
And they
aren't on
deleted and
conservative
destroyed
circles
all of the information.
aren't
They
saying.
should go to jail
And
for that.
I have to
If a
say,
Republican
this
did
has
that,
to
they'd
be the
go to jail.
Thank you,
influence
President
of
Trump.
like
President Biden,
Don
I wanna give
Jr.
you a
and stuff
minute.
like that. Because
The only
Don Jr. is
person
very
on stage
tapped
is a
in
convicted
to the
felon
conservative
is
sphere,
man.
especially
Oh
since
my
he has his
God,
own
he brought
podcast.
up
And the fact of the
felon
matter is,
thing.
he isn't.
Oh my, yeah, he
What
did.
he's telling you is simply not
Oh,
true.
no, he needs to hit him
Fact
back.
is that
He needs to hit him
there
back and
was
say,
no
"You,
effort on his
Robert
part
Hurst said
to
that you
stop
were
what was
too
going
fucking
on
senile
on Capitol
to
Hill.
be
And all those
a
people,
felon." He
every
needs to
one
come
of
back
them
and say it. You
convicted,
want to call him a felon?
deserves to
Well,
be
Rob
convicted.
Hurst said you're too
The
senile to
idea
stand
that they
trial.
didn't kill
How can you
somebody,
be president?
just went in and broke
He
down
absolutely needs to
doors,
go back and
broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks,
occupied office.
turned
No,
over
the
statues.
wait,
Border
what
Patrol
turned over-
Union
Those people are
tweeted, to
patriots.
be clear, we never
Yeah.
have and never will
And
endorse
I asked him
Biden.
the first two
I
debates
love
we
it.
had, the
I
debates we had
love
first time around. I
I
said, "Will you
love
denounce the Proud Boys?" He said, "No, I'll tell them to stand by."
Oh my God.
The idea he's refusing to, will you denounce these guys? Will you
What is there to
the people
denounce?
We're talking about now. You denounce the people who attacked that Capitol. What are you going to do?
Oh my God. What are you
I'm
going to
going to
do?
give you a
What are you gonna
minute,
do there,
President
boy?
Trump,
What
for
are you
a
gonna
the
follow-up
do?
weirdest
question I
pause.
have.
That was great.
After
What are you
a
gonna
jury
do?
convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said that
Jesus.
re-elected,
I wouldn't
you
answer
knew
this.
have
happening.
every
You knew
right
this
to go
happening.
after.
I
Well,
know.
so far he's
political
rejected their
opponents.
framing
You
on
just talked
January
about
6th. I want to see what he
members
does
of the
here.
Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight.
Main
Can you
political
clarify
opponent
exactly what
tried
it
putting him in
means
jail.
about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful
Good.
again because right now
Good.
it's a failing nation.
I
My
fucking love it.
retribution
He's
is going to be
just saying
success.
all their framings are
But
stupid.
when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important thing.
Awesome.
But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe
wanna-
could be
I
a
want him to-
convicted felon
yes,
with
yes.
all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border, telling
yeah.
the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor.
Yes.
Because you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever
Fuck
said
yeah.
that, that's quid pro quo.
He brought that back.
We're not going to do anything.
This is great.
We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the son.
I do think
This man is a criminal. This man, you're
I would have
lucky.
liked if
You're
he brought
lucky.
up the her
I did
thing like you
nothing
said,
wrong.
though.
We'd
He
have
should.
a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir.
Honestly,
Well, you want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you
I'm not trying to glaze Trump,
The
but this is the
idea
best he's looked in a while.
That I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two,
I
the
mean,
idea that you
he doesn't
have
have
a right
much.
to seek
What's it?
retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong.
He didn't say he was
Simply
going to
wrong.
seek
No
retribution
president
against
shows
someone.
no
He said it was going to be success.
No
So it's
president
like,
in our history has
so
spoken
just-
like that before.
this is
Number
practiced
three,
as well. This
The
answer.
crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public?
Oh, my
doing a
God.
whole range of things.
Oh my
Having
God.
sex with a porn star.
Having to, how's that
Your
illegal?
wife was pregnant.
I mean, but also
what are you talking about?
that isn't provable
You're
because
moving the
apparently it
rules
didn't
around,
happen.
Ken.
Stormy Daniels came out and said it didn't
Give you a
happen.
minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star.
There you go. Boom.
Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won.
He
We had a
has done a
very,
good job at
terrible
listening to a
judge,
lot of the
horrible
people
judge,
that
Democrat.
are laying this out every
The
day.
prosecutor were
Like
all
your
high-ranking
Posos, your Tim
Democrats,
Castor,
appointed
Benny
people,
Johnsons, these
and
people that
both the civil
rail on these things.
and
He's
the criminals.
obviously his people that
He basically
this
went after his
is
political opponent
Trump
because he
listening
thought it was
to his
gonna damage
advisors.
me. But when the public found out
Like,
about these
Trump
cases,
obviously
because they
listened
understand
and
better than he
prepared
does. He has no idea what
for
these
this.
cases
Like,
are.
not this
But
isn't
when
off
he-
the
when
cuff
they
Trump.
found
This
out about
is
these
Trump
cases, you know what they
prepared to
did?
answer
My poll
all of
numbers
the
went up
lines of
way up.
attack.
You know that?
Yeah,
'cause
and
you're
he's
reporting it.
putting his
And
little
we took in
mannerisms
more
in there
money in the last
earlier
2
when he was
weeks
like, I don't
than
even think he
we've
knows
ever
what he's
taken
doing.
in the
Yeah,
history of
like,
any
he
campaign.
knew this stuff was
Any
gonna come,
campaign
and he's
has
fucking hitting
ever
back.
taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't
There you
win
go.
fair and square.
Thank you,
Boom.
President Trump. President
I
Biden,
like
you
that.
have said,
I
quote,
like
Donald
that.
Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy. Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote for
Yep.
President Trump
He's calling
will be
75
voting
million
against
people.
American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes. The more they know about
Wow.
what he's done. And there's
This
a lot
is
more coming.
deplorables.
He's got a lot of
Again.
cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of issues he has to
All
face.
Trump needs to
I don't
say
know what
is,
the juries will
no,
do,
I don't.
but I
They've all
know
been
by
thrown
now
out.
He has a real problem. And so the fact
They've been
that-
thrown out.
Could
Fannie
you-
Willis,
you hear any
he
president
shouldn't
say,
talk about
"Well,
it,
I'm gonna
but he
seek
should say, if you
retribution"?
look
Not even.
up,
Never hear any
Not even.
president
Not
say
even.
that.
Question is
But
about
that's
voting
some
against
good ideas.
democracy.
What got
I don't
me
know.
involved in
Maybe
my
it's
first
not the
place
best
after I
answer,
said
but
I
Trump
died
basically
inside
needs to say
in
that
Iraq
he
because of Iraq.
is
He said I
fine
wouldn't
with
go
the
to
other
Iraq.
half.
Until I
Like,
saw what happened in
you don't vote for
Charlottesville,
me,
Virginia.
you're still
People
participating
coming
in it
out of the
because he's
woods carrying
would be the
swastikas.
unifier
my
now. We're not
policies are
fucking
my
Biden.
policies are still
And
going to
you
benefit
see
you
the
even
same
if you don't vote for me,
anti-Semitic bile.
like they
He
did.
saying-
fucking
like they
brought
did
up
back for you.
Charlottesville.
And and the young woman got killed.
Oh,
by
Jesus
a mob.
fucking Christ! Like,
And
this
she
is
pulling out
asked
everything.
him, they said,
No, Trump needs to
what
bring
do
up
you think of
Snopes
those people?
and say that
The people
Snopes
who
even
live
says
in
that
those
the
guys,
very fine
the one who
people is
tried to
now
stop
false.
it.
He
Like,
needs
I
to
don't
bring
know.
up
He said, I
Snopes now.
think they're
No, they
fine
did. They
people on
reversed it.
both sides.
he just said it now. No,
What
I'm saying I don't know if he
American
brought it
president
up.
Oh.
would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches.
He might bring up
singing
Snopes.
The same anti-Semitic bile,
needs to
carrying
bring up Snopes.
swastikas.
Her
Fine people.
swastikas. No, and
This is the
also
guy who
he needs
says
to also
he's
say
done some
you
good
eulogize
things.
Robert
I'd like
Byrd.
to know what they are.
He needs to
Good
bring up
things
both
he's been
Snopes
doing.
and be like,
We'll see.
talk about
We'll see.
swastikas.
Guy
You
has no sense
eulogize
of
Robert
humor.
Byrd, who
I
was
mean,
a KKK member.
Biden
President
is hitting everything that's
both
like
of you know that story's been
Democrat.
totally
Yeah, talking.
wiped out, because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on this. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's
I love
ridiculous.
that.
We have a
Good.
debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency, he's without question the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see it's debunked all over the place.
Talk about
Every
Snopes.
anchor
Say
has,
Snopes said it.
every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day, it came out where it was fully debunked. It's
did bring it
a
up.
nonsense story. He knows that, and he
Yes.
didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as
It's-
an excuse to run.
It's actually wild. It's
President Biden?
And debunked. It happened. All you have to do
what
is
is
listen to
happening
was
right
said at
now
the
is
time.
Biden is weighing
The
on.
idea that
I like
somehow that's
like
the only
our
reason I
friend of the
ran.
show, Pastor
I
Daryl
ran because
Scott,
I was
brought
worried a
up
guy like this guy
2020
could
talking
if he
points.
thought
Yeah.
He's
good
weighing on
people
2020
coming out of
talking
that
points,
that
and
forest,
Trump is right
carrying
now
those
going on the
things,
2024
carrying those
talking points.
torches.
And here's
Like
the
that's
thing.
that's what's happening right now.
Didn't deserve to be
I'm going to
president
bring
at all.
up
And the
John Ziegler real
idea
quick.
that he's
John
talking
Ziegler is one of the
about
most honest
all this being
individuals I ever met, and he
fabricated. We saw with our
hates
own eyes. We
Donald
saw
Trump
what
with
happened
passion.
in January 6th.
Yeah.
We
He
saw the
just
people
said
breaking
35
through
minutes ago,
windows.
but
We
it's
saw
probably
people
gotten worse
occupying
here.
the-
Biden
He's
is
no vice
performing
president.
much,
Look,
much
there's a
worse
reason
than I
why
expected.
40
Yeah.
We are
almost
currently
44
in
top
potentially total
cabinet
disaster
officers
territory with
refusing
everything
to
now
endorse him this
being
time.
on the table for
His vice
Democrats.
president hasn't
Theory
done
he's
it
been
this
making
time.
forever. So
Why?
he's
the thing
predicting
is-
Democrats are going to
I mean,
win.
I agree with that. You probably agree with that too. Like, I didn't expect him to be this bad.
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be
I
right
did.
back with more
I did.
from the CNN
I expected him to be
presidential
this
debate.
bad because here's the thing. There is, and we've been hearing this for a long time. There is one person they can roll out right now who has a chance of beating Trump at the polls and at the box, and that's Michelle Obama. No one knows shit about Michelle Obama. She was just a popular first lady. I was going to lower it anyway. Yeah. She was
Yeah,
just a
muted it.
popular first lady, and they're not going to be able to hit anything on her. They really aren't.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to stick to her. You know, Gavin
Oh
Newsom
yeah,
got
100
thrown
no,
up.
but what I'm saying is that like, because like we've talked about that before on the show anyway.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is that I didn't expect Biden to look this bad. I would like I expect him like to look this bad just because of how old he is. But I would have thought his team would have had him more up than he is right now.
You can only do so much, though.
That is
That's
true.
the thing.
That's 100%
You can
true.
only do so much, and when a guy is deteriorating like he is, and here's the thing:
And you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I'll
here's the-
add.
this could happen to Trump. This
Yeah.
really can. Because
And
Trump
that's
is
one of the
old.
big issues with Trump is that this could happen to Trump.
So here's the question. Right now, it seems like the big players, I went back and listened to some of our shows, and when we talked to Jamie Lashley, the COO of TELUS Healthcare, we actually asked her about the front runners. At that time, it was Kristi Noem, who's out because she kills dogs. It was Tim Scott, who it seems like is not really in there anymore. He doesn't seem very relevant.
Yeah.
And Ben Carson, who has gotten a lot of love. He keeps on coming.
I'd like Ben
now.
Carson. He's just a damn breadstick.
But
That's
there's
his
also
biggest issue.
JD Vance And another name that's been rolled around, obviously Vivek's always there, but I think Vivek's kind of out. I think Vivek is going to be in the cabinet.
We'll see.
Another name, Dave, that's been floated around and might be a really, really good one, Rand Paul. Unless you're going to make Rand Paul like your chief medical person. But here's the thing, Rand.
I like Rand.
He's popular amongst conservatives. Yes. Some of them plug him, but he's popular, especially the way he went after Fauci. He would bring Mises Caucus Plus for libertarians. You would get, and it would totally take all the steam out of anything that what the fuck guy that won Chase that won for Mises, all the steam out of them. They would get less than 0.5%. Like they would be gone. They're out. And he would pull a bunch of the anti-war, even people on the left that are anti-war know how strong he is. Biden's very pro-war.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's happening tonight, his VP pick, right? Like
we'll see. I don't know. I think he said he was going to announce it, but
I'm pretty sure it's tonight. But what was I going to say?
I don't like the idea of Marco Rubio. I really don't.
No, I don't. Jesse Kelly tweeted out, I don't know. I kind of agree with this, actually. He said, may God forgive me for what I'm about to say, but Tapper and Bash are doing very well. Obviously, some bias there, and Trump not taking their bait is hurting what they want. But they're not bad so far. And then he says, I'm sorry. And I kind of agree with that. Like, the questions haven't been terrible. They've been obvious bias, but you knew what was going to happen there. But it hasn't been, what's his face from Fox? I can't remember his name.
That fucking asshole that now, his dad was much better than him. And he's over at MSNBC now. Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace.
No, he's
Chris Wallace was worse to Trump than this right now. I mean, there's much more debate for, but
here's the thing with that. I believe it's the format. I believe it's because they have full control. No one else is talking without their permission. All these moderators get flustered when they all start screaming, and I don't blame them. There are 2 or 3 or 4 individuals with a bunch of other people who are very strong-willed, very charismatic, very big in terms of personality, right? If you're a politician going for that, you're big in personality. So it is something that I think this format, and they might go ahead with this completely and keep doing it this way.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it because it forces them to listen to each other. And it forces them to be quiet, and it does help the moderators a lot. It really does.
To a record low under your presidency, Black families still earn far less than white families. Black mothers are still 3 times more likely to die for pregnancy-related causes.
Coming up,
Black Americans are imprisoned 5 times
trying to debate
white Americans.
What they're saying live right now.
Black voters who are disappointed that
RFK has over 1 million live viewers right now. He's trying to answer their answers.
The fact of the matter is
and it's the realdebate.com. RFK's fucking pathetic, man. I'm not gonna lie. He's a pathetic person.
Number 2. The wages of black.
This is all about black families. Yes. Honestly, all Trump needs to do is just start naming off all the influential people that said they vote for him, all the rappers.
Yep.
Like he needs to start talking about what Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion, I think, is one. Wasn't she the one that was walking down and they asked her why is she voting for Trump? And he's just like, because I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid anymore.
I can't remember.
Megan Thee Stallion, but he just needs to ramble off all the rappers that are supporting him.
Not even. Bring up how you went into was it South Bronx? I can't remember where he went.
South Bronx.
Bring up how you actually went to where no one goes.
Yeah. How he went there and he ventured into a spot where it's typically
no one goes.
It would be Biden's voting territory because they just took for granted.
Make sure we provide for child care costs. We got to make sure because when you provide those child care protections.
Well, here's the thing. He's pulling out all the handouts, right? We got to make sure we give handout. We got to make sure we give handout. We got to make sure we give handout.
There's more to
where
be done.
Trump needs to hit him with, this is an old talking thing, but I think this is one thing that does work. I don't want to give you handouts. I want to give you pride. I want to make you work. I want to give you good jobs.
Disappointed with the progress so far.
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still hurting them badly. For example,
I thought it was better. I thought it was better. I thought it was great. I thought we've been told that the inflation's not bad at all. That's what we've been told.
Buy their first home so they can get started. I made sure that we're in a situation where all those black families and those black individuals.
And if I'm a black person right now, I'm sorry.
It is not.
I'm fucking pissed that they are. I hate all these questions every time because it's like, wait a minute. Why just us? Like, we are just like a token, useful pawn for politicians. Like, why? Like, I hate all these questions. Like, when they sit there and they just ask specifically about a certain category, it's like, I would look at this and be like, wait a minute, I'm just a category.
He caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation.
Yes.
And he's right. It's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody.
Yeah,
It's killing people. They can't buy
Honestly,
groceries
this was a
anymore.
losing
They
question
can't-
for
you
Biden
look at the cost
in
of food,
the
where
whole
it's doubled,
prospect.
and tripled, and
He probably did the best
They
he
can't
could, to be
live.
quite
They're not
honest.
living anymore.
I like
He
it
caused
is
this
a losing
inflation. I
question.
gave
There's not
him-
much you can
With
do about it.
CNN, you're
country
thinking
with
it's a winning
no-
question. They really
essentially no
do,
inflation.
because
It was
leftists
perfect.
think
It
that
was
black
so
people
good.
are
All
in
he
their
had to do
pocket,
is leave it
and that
alone.
they're
He
voting group.
destroyed it with his
Not
Green
with the way
New Scam
polls have
and
been
all of the
looking,
other-
even if you
all
want to
this
say the
money
polls
that's
aren't
being
great,
thrown out
and
the
that they're
window. He
just
caused
still kind of
inflation.
bow out
As
anyway,
sure as
but
you're sitting
not with the
there,
way polls have been looking.
the
If Trump can
fact
get
is
20%,
that
it's
his
over.
big
But maybe it's not.
kill
Honestly, maybe it's
on
not,
the
because
black people
we don't know what
is
they're
the
going to do during
millions
the
of people
presidential
that he's
election.
allowed to
We
come
really
in
don't.
through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be
Yeah,
18,
you could talk about
it could be
Chicago being
19,
pissed.
and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you, President
Holy
Biden.
shit.
There
That's a
was
good
no
point to bring
inflation
up.
when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 15% unemployment.
Because there was a
decimated the
fucking
economy.
pandemic.
Actually decimated the economy. That's
What
why
is-
there was no
There was a
inflation
pandemic.
at the time.
There was
There were
nothing
no
you could do.
jobs. We provided thousands of millions of jobs for
No, you
individuals
didn't. They
who
people
were
just
in
got their
vulnerable
jobs
communities,
back.
including minority communities. We made
That's
sure
where Trump
that
needs
they
to
had
go and be like,
health
there was a
insurance.
pandemic, you
We
idiot.
have
And then
covered-
people just went
the
back to work.
ACA
You didn't
has
provide
increased-
anything.
I made sure that there are $8,000 per person in a family
Oh, my
to get
God.
written off for health care. But this guy wants to eliminate that. They tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again. And they're going to try again if they win. You find ourselves in a position where the
Oh, Greg
idea
Gutfeld 25
that
minutes
we're not
ago.
doing any-
Think of
I
all
put
those
more-
slimy assholes
we
in the
put more
media and
police
in
on the
politics
street
who said
than
Biden
any
was as sharp as ever.
administration has. He wants to cut the cops.
If
We're
if
providing
any
for
of them,
equity,
MSNBC,
equity
you know
and
Joy
making
Reid's
sure people
dumbass is
have
going to say something
shot
fucking
to
stupid.
make it.
But if
There's a
any of
lot
them
going
say
on
he
with
did a
inflation.
good job, and look
He
at this,
caused
honestly,
it.
I'm telling you right
There
now,
was
they helped him during the
tremendous
break because he looks a lot more awake right now than he did before that break.
A bit
They
more
Thank
awake.
you.
need
Another
bit more
persistent
awake.
challenge
Definitely
is
more.
the climate crisis.
No,
2023
there isn't a
was the
challenge. If I'm
hottest
Trump, I'm just
year
saying
in
there isn't one.
recorded
Go away.
history, and communities across
Just
the
saying
country
no.
are
Just start
confronting
talking
the
about something
devastating
else.
effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes,
This is
and
No.
such a
rising sea
ridiculous
levels.
question.
Former
None of it's
President
real.
Trump, you've vowed to end your opponent's climate initiatives, but
Yes.
will you take any action as
No.
president to slow the climate
I would tell him
crisis?
nuclear. He should go
Let me just
nuclear.
Go back to what he said about the police, how close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group. And what he's done to the black population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. We can't in the 1990s.
Very
we can't
true.
do that.
Wow.
Super predators was
Look at
his
his
name.
face.
And he called it to him, and they've taken great
Yeesh.
offense at it. And now they see it happening.
Yeesh.
But when they see what I did
That
for
was a
criminal
good one.
justice
That
reform
was a really
and
good
for
one.
the historically
That's
black
what can he
colleges
say?
and
The
universities,
guy's on camera
where I
doing it when he was
funded them
doing the
and got
fucking
them all
act in
funded,
96.
And he did
and
what
the
you did, where he just
opportunity
said
zones
fuck
with-
the question
with
and went
Tim,
back
as you
to
know,
what he
Tim
wanted to
Scott
talk
is
This is
about.
exactly what
incredible.
he
did a
should do
great
every
job.
time.
Great
He
senator
should
from
not
South
even play the
Carolina.
game because there is
He
no.
came to me with the idea.
Don't
It was a
acknowledge
great
that it
idea.
exists.
It's one
We
of the
don't
most
acknowledge it,
successful
then they can't say
economic
anything.
development acts ever in the country. Opportunity zones, and
Yeah.
the biggest beneficiary are blacks, and that's why we
I
have
always
the
hate
best
when they say
numbers with them
blacks.
in maybe
Like,
ever. They're
black
saying
people-
ever. I read this morning.
Just like
where
it's such like
ever,
a
the
weird
best
term to
numbers.
me.
Yeah.
He's lost
Like just the
much of
blacks.
the black
Like,
population
like, what the fuck?
because he's done a horrible job for black
Can we just
people.
think about Michael
He's also
Jackson? I'm
done a
not going to
horrible
spend my
job
life being
for
a color. Like, can we just
Hispanics.
stop?
But wait till you see these millions of
Stand
people
it.
pouring into our country, and they're going to take the jobs.
I like this.
And
He
it's
just said,
already
"Fuck your
started,
question."
and
I'm
you
gonna say
haven't
what I
seen
want.
anything yet. It's a disaster.
You've
You ain't seen nothing
38
yet.
seconds left. President Trump,
He's
will
just
you
gonna
take
ask him
any
to.
action
Just gonna ask.
as
Yeah. Well,
president
of course she
to
would. I
slow
mean,
the
that's.
climate
I'm not gonna
crisis?
blame her on
She
that. One, I'm
asked
not
you-
gonna lie.
I
That's the
want
question.
absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers
H2O.
ever. And we
Gatorade.
did- we were
H2O.
using all forms of energy, all forms, everything. And yet, during my 4 years,
He should
I had
say
the
nuclear
best
right now. He really
environmental
should say,
numbers
like,
ever.
honestly,
my
and if you
top
really are
environmental
serious
people gave
about
me that statistic
going
just
green,
before
then
I
we need
walked
to
on
start
the stage,
embracing
actually.
nuclear.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell he's been. The idea that anything he said is true. I've passed the most extensive,
Malcolm
most
Flex.
extensive climate change legislation in history. In history.
He said Trump is going to pull out and write his name in the death note.
Black colleges. I came up with $15 billion for HBCUs, historic black universities and colleges, because they don't have those. They don't have the kind of
honestly the super
contributors
predator
that they
thing is
have.
like, and the fact that here's
Well,
the thing.
there's
Here's how you know it's
laboratories in the
bullshit. Why aren't the moderators asking us to respond to that? Why didn't they ask Biden? And the real moderators would be like, do you want to respond to the Super Predators?
We're in a situation where the idea that he is
big.
claiming to have
That's a big moment.
something that
Yeah.
had the
And
cleanest
Biden
water,
reacted to it.
the cleanest water. He hadn't done a damn thing for the environment. He pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord. I immediately
What do these
joined it.
mean?
It's
An
a
agreement? A
for
Paris
1.5
Climate Accord?
degrees
What does that
Celsius
actually
at
mean?
any one point where
It
there's
is.
no way
I
back.
said
Again,
I'm
No
gonna
there's no
existential
talking
threat to
point, though.
humanity
I
is
said-
climate
I
change.
said we'll
and he
do it.
didn't do a damn thing about it. He must undo all that I've done.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China
That
nothing,
doesn't look
and Russia
good.
nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States.
Look at him, yeah.
And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly.
What I don't
We were the
understand
only
is
ones
this
who
was already
costing us
a
money.
debate
Nobody else
point.
was
Like,
paying into it.
there's no reason
And
to
it was
bring
a-
this
it
up
was a disaster.
because
But
they've already
everything that
had
he
this
said
conversation
just now,
before.
I'll give you
Everyone
this.
already
I heard him
knows.
say before,
In 2020, the stances
I'm
haven't
the
changed.
one
Yeah.
that got the insulin
Yeah.
down for the seniors. I
Yes,
took care of the
nice.
seniors.
Good, he
What
hit
he's
that. He
doing
did
is
the Insulin Act.
destroying all of our medical programs.
Because Biden took
the
credit for the
migrants
Insulin
coming
Act
in, they
4
want
years later.
everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that. And I want to take
By the
care
way,
of
thank you for
people.
everyone
But we're
watching. Thank you for
destroying
everyone
our
on
country. They're
YouTube,
taking over our
Facebook,
schools, our
Twitter. We
hospitals.
kind of
They're gonna
hijacked
be
our whole
taking
show.
over Social
What we
Security.
were going to talk
He is
about, with the
destroying
other things
Social
aren't. We
Security,
just decided to tune
Medicare,
in.
and
Take the
Medicaid.
chance
Yeah.
that YouTube doesn't give a shit about us and is going to
The
let us
idea
go.
is
But
that
I mean,
we, in fact,
it's
we
too
were
funny not to watch
the
live.
only
I'm not
ones
gonna
of
lie. This has been
consequence.
good comedy.
We're not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything if we're not able to? The United States can't get its pollution under control.
Oh my
One
God,
of
they
the
can't
largest polluters in the world, number one. We're making significant progress. By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half. We have made
We're one of the largest polluters in the world, but we're probably the most conscious.
We set up a climate
Also
corps
in the world about
where
trying to
thousands
mitigate
of
our
young people
pollution.
Learn how to
And we always
deal with
have
them,
it.
just like the Peace Corps, and we're moving in directions that are going to significantly change the elements of cause of pollution.
The fuck
But
is he
the
talking
idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here and he's really concerned about
That fucking hurt him. I don't know why he wants to care very much
pollution
about
and
that.
climate. I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, with regard to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for, one, voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world.
Oh, so he was a
every
dictator.
pharmaceutical
So he's
company
proud
did not have to
that
pay
while
it.
Trump
And by the way,
tried to use the bully pulpit to pressure them like
every
he's
day,
supposed to do.
millions of
Well, they cut him off.
Americans
That's
struggle
awesome.
just to make
Tried to put
ends
the
meet.
bully
For many
pulpit.
older Americans,
Why didn't just
Social
brag
Security
about being a
provides
dictator?
critical
Now,
lifeline.
can we talk about
President
that? Like
Biden,
he was
if
pumping
nothing
on
is
that.
done to Social Security,
Like,
seniors will
and if
see
you're
their
looking at the
benefits
person
cut
that's like, who respects
in
freedom
just
and
over
democracy?
10
Trump.
years.
Tried to use the
He's
bully
not
Will
pulpit
you
gonna
to
name
say
tonight
that.
one specific
I mean-
step that you're willing to take to keep Social Security solvent?
That's
yes, make the very wealthy begin to pay their
question.
fair share.
Make the oh my
Oh,
God,
that's-
back to this one.
Everybody making under $170,000 pays 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck from the time
Why is he
the
so
first
mad?
one they get when they're 18 years old.
He really
The
looks.
idea that
He's
they're-
focusing.
He
I'm not-
really looks like
I'm
that one
proposing
guy
that
that just like has like.
everybody,
Oh,
they pay,
the guy's
He
name.
looks like Jim
millionaires pay 1%.
Jeff.
1%.
Jeff Dunham.
So no
Dunham.
one after
I don't know why I want to say
raise your
Dahmer, and I
cost
didn't
of
want to
Social
fucking say it because I didn't want to
Security.
slander him.
Oh,
$40,000
Jeffrey
I wouldn't
Dunham,
have
thank
begin
you.
to make
Jeff-
wealthy.
Thank you for
They
remembering.
pay their
Jeffrey
fair
Dahmer,
share.
that's-
Dunham's
By
puppet.
increasing from
He does.
1%
He kind of looks like that. Or
to be able to
you could definitely put him
guarantee
up
the
there with
program
the
for
Muppets. With
So
the
you
two
still have
angry
82
men up there, he could
seconds
be
left.
one of
Are
them.
there any other measures that you think that would be able to help
They kinda
keep
remind me of
Social
Bert and
Security
Ernie.
solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will
Little
keep it
bit.
solvent. but
Trump's
the
Ernie.
biggest thing he'll do is defeat
And
this
invited
man.
Bert. Hey,
Because
Bert,
he
what are
wants
we going to
to
do
get
today,
Social
Bert?
Security. He thinks
Hey,
there's
Bert.
plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social
You're not
Security
gay for
and
each other.
Medicare.
Didn't Sesame
both
Street
times.
confirm that they were
And
gay?
that's what, and if you look at
Unnecessarily.
the
So,
program
I
put
don't think
forward
so.
by
They're best
the House
friends.
Republican
I think they
caucus that he, I believe, supports is in fact
I rejected
want to
it, they
cut it
did.
as well. The idea that
Yeah, that's
we
good
don't
research. Go
need
do
to
that
protect
research.
our seniors is ridiculous. We
You don't
put,
have
we, and by the way, American
How many
public
times are you gonna
has
say, by
greater
the way?
healthcare coverage today.
You're playing a
than ever
drinking game
before.
and you have to drink for by the way. You're
No.
already
As I
dead.
said,
You're dead.
You're in a circumstance where 400,000
Circumstance?
people,
You're in a
40 million people
Serpentine.
would not have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. Only thing that allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they, in fact, are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing
mean,
is we're in a situation.
Only thing that Trump really had a problem with the ACA was the mandatory penalties for not having, and Trump helped get rid of that. I think Trump was actually like cool with the good, like the 25-year-old thing and some of like the pre-existing conditions. I'm pretty sure.
Not entirely sure.
No, I think Trump was fine with like the pre-existing conditions, not being off for that. Like there's
So
certain
I've
things
dealt
that
with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy.
That's the most amount of drag queens get my vote.
Look you in the face. So so many other things too.
Honestly, actually, that might be the toss-up. To be quite honest,
what do you got? What is it?
You know what Nate G said in the comment section? Whoever knows the most amount of drag queens gets my vote.
Who knows?
It might be a toss-up. Trump was around New York a lot.
Trump was a New York mogul. You have no idea the drag queen scene in the Northeast, and especially in New York City.
I don't know the scene, but I would just say there's a lot. Anyway,
I mean, they were probably real drag queens when he was there, not trans people pretending to be drag queens. Like, there's a huge difference between a trans person and a drag queen. I will put that out there. But yeah, I think it's definitely Trump. So cool, Nate, you're voting for Trump. I like it. Thanks for watching. As always, Nate, we appreciate you.
I've never seen such anger.
Throw you up on screen for fun. There you go. Boom.
President Biden.
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of. I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it. Number one. Number two, the idea that we're going to be in a situation where
debunk the suckers and losers thing.
Yeah, millions and millions, the way he talks about it.
Can we pull up
illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world. The reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 riots he talked about.
Stop it, by the way. This is circle back all over again.
Economists, they all said
this is
probably a way to keep them on, though.
This is stocky circle back.
Inflation is going to increasingly go up. And by the way, worst president history. 159 presidential scholars voted.
Oh my God, that's stupid damn thing.
President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of
really
child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump, both you and President Biden have tried to address this issue, but the average cost of child care in this country has risen to more than $11,000 a year per child. For many families, the cost of child care for 2 children is more than their rent. In your second term, what would you do to make child care more affordable?
Stop caring.
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up.
He needs to bring up the fact that if the guy, if he was one of the generals that lied to him about
the
Syria.
Other thing is, he doesn't fire people. He never fired.
Yeah, it's actually against leftist doctrine to beat Trump. That's what it is. It's against leftist doctrine to beat Trump. Anything he does is against that.
Except go doing all of his policies because yours are fucking terrible, which Biden's been doing like all of his old policies and totally bringing them back.
This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show. The most embarrassing.
I want to thank everyone for sticking with us. We're definitely going long tonight. We'll be here.
Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's on the border?
It'll be fun.
That's allowed us.
For anybody listening, that's going to be listening to this in the future, we're sorry. We're just kind of providing commentary. This is going to be a very useless, audio podcast, but it'll go up.
That allowed our country to be destroyed. Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. Look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced it a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders. He wants our country to either be destroyed or he wants to pick up those people.
After watching this debate, if you had to choose between jumping off the Empire State Building or voting for Biden, which song would be played at your funeral?
Our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance, of
pretty good
coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore.
Who's tweeting for Joe Biden? 11 minutes ago, Donald Trump decimated the U.S. economy. I hate when they do that.
The most admired country in the world. We're the United States of
America.
There's nothing beyond our capacity.
He is
the finest military in the history of the world. the finest in the history of the world.
Oh my God! Please
No
bring
one
up the
thinks
fact
that
that they can't hit their
No one
quotas
wants to screw
and
no
that
one.
trans
Nobody.
people are taking over.
This
Number two, the idea
that line
we're
would
talking
hold a
about
lot
worst
more weight
presidents.
if
I
he
wasn't
like
joking.
was actually
Look it up.
patriotic
Go
his whole
online.
entire campaign, his whole entire presidency.
159
His whole entire
It would
life.
hold a lot
I
more
don't know the
weight.
exact number. Presidential historians.
I mean,
they
it's
had meetings.
This
and they
stupid
voted
presidential
who's the
historians
worst
thing,
president
dude.
in
What are you
American
doing?
history. One through best.
I mean,
doesn't-
that's
no one
all they
cares.
have,
Worst
because
in
they
all
don't
one
have
cares.
facts, they have
American
conjecture,
history.
right?
That's
This
a
is an
fact.
opinion.
That's not conjecture. You can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is knowing
talking to you.
anything to
You're
deal
talking to
with
me.
child
They
care.
vote. It's a fact that they
He did
voted that way.
virtually nothing
Not
for
like
child
there's
care.
no like
Yeah.
We
facts
should
actually
significantly
behind
increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women and men or single parents to be able to go back to work.
Women and men and
we should
single
encourage businesses to have
Thank you, President
child care
Biden.
facilities.
President Trump, the question was about what would you do to make child care more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you. And they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm
I don't know if
given
that's
another
true because
4
everyone
years,
hates him, but I
will
just
be
love
the
Trump.
best. I think I'll be the best.
I
Nobody's
just
ever
love Trump. He's always the fucking
created an
best.
economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire.
What
so
are men and women,
everybody,
Nate?
including the
I don't
two
know.
of you
I,
that pay
honestly,
4
I'm
or
not a
5 times,
biologist,
nobody
so
ever
I don't know
heard
if I
of this
can
before.
answer that, Nate.
In my life,
Yeah,
I've
we
never
can't
heard
answer
of
I
any
think you have to go
politicians
ask
talking
your
about
resident
cutting
biologist.
taxes.
I hope you
When we
know
cut
a
taxes,
good
as I
biologist
said,
that can help you
we
out with
did
that
more
one.
business. Apple
Supreme
and all
Court
these
justice doesn't
companies,
need to know
they
that
were
either to
bringing
get on.
money
So,
back into our
sorry, Nate.
country.
I can't help you with that one.
The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead
This is
wrong
actually
about-
one of
he's
the
increased
dumbest fucking lines that we've
he's
ever seen in
increased-
Yeah, this
he will
is
increase
ridiculous
the,
right now.
And honestly,
taxes on
Dana
the
and Jake
tax
should
credit.
take control and just
I
be like,
said
"This
I
is
never
dumb,
raised
guys."
the tax
We're
Yeah,
rate.
there's no
not
reason. Like, get to the next question. Get to something else.
I
With
did.
Who's the
no
best
reason.
president? You're the worst. No,
Everything
you're the worst. No, you're the
coming
worst.
in the country.
Oh, those eyes. What was that, guys? Oh my God.
That's going to cost the average American
Those are crazy.
$2,500 a
Blake.
year more because they're going to have to pay the difference
10,
in food
11,
and all the things
12,
that are important.
13.
Number
Oh,
two,
there you go. You look
he's
down.
in a
It's almost
situation
13
where
seconds. Open
he
eyes.
talks about how he is not
He
raised.
doesn't have any tear ducts.
He's
Whatever drugs he's
somehow
on takes away his tear
helped the
ducts.
middle
You can
class.
keep them open forever.
Middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country.
The
We have
crazy
the largest
thing is,
deficit of any president in
how
American
can they-
history.
how do
Number
they
one.
claim
Number
that tax
two,
cuts
you
decimate?
have not, in fact, made
That
any
cutting
contact,
tax. The only thing that decimates is
with
the
China.
offers that the
We are the
government
lowest
may
trade
have, and if it
deficit
even
in
doesn't do
China
that,
since 2010.
it's like
Thank you, President Biden.
the claim of
Thank you,
tax
President
cuts
Biden.
hurting anybody
Let's
is
discuss
insane.
an epidemic
Fucking
impacting
fighting. Cut
millions
them
of
off.
Americans.
They're cutting them off.
Both of you have made
Yeah.
a top priority in your first term, the opioid crisis. And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made,
I
more than
mean,
100,000
if I'm Trump here, I'm
Americans are
talking
dying
about,
from
well, they
overdoses
designed
every year,
caravans to come in
primarily
here,
from fentanyl
and those
and other
caravans
opioids.
overloaded
What
our
will you do
border,
to help
and they
Americans
televised
right
them with
now in the
thousands.
throes
We'll
of
see.
addiction who are struggling
He
to
probably
get the
will.
treatment they need?
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China.
Yes.
So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come.
Industries.
But
I
he
love the way
hasn't done
Trump
that.
pronounces some things.
But he hasn't cut the tariffs
Industries.
because he can't. Because it's
Like,
too
he definitely
much
deserves
money.
to be made fun
But
of for
he's got
some
the
of his
largest
pronunciation.
Yo,
deficit
100%.
in the
Like,
history of our
everyone makes fun of
country,
China
and he's got the worst-
industries. It does not
the
even like
worst
a New York
situation with
accent. I don't know what the
China.
fuck that
China's
is.
going to own us if you keep
Trumpian
allowing
accent.
them to
Trumpian.
do what they're doing
I
to us
really
as a
hope like
country.
Don
They
Jr.
are
just
killing
morphs
us
into him
as
in
a
like 20
country,
years
Joe,
and has
you
all
can't
of his
let that
mannerisms.
happen. You're
Like,
destroying our
and like
country.
they all like Eric gets there, and then
President
Barron
Trump,
eventually
you have
gets there. Even
67
Ivanka
seconds left.
like
The
starts like
question
having like
was, what are you
Trumpisms.
gonna
Like
do to help
they all start
Americans in the
eventually
throes
talking like
of
this.
addiction right now,
I'm like
who are
kind of
struggling to
this
get
sounds
the
like Dr.
treatment they
Evil.
need.
Jake, we were
Sometimes
doing very well at addiction until the COVID
Doing
came
freaking
along.
very well
We
with
had
freaking
the
addiction.
2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way.
I mean,
And then we had to
if
get tough.
SNL
And
was
it
funny,
the drugs
they would
pouring
bring Mike
across the
Myers on
border.
to make Dr. Dr. Evil beat President Trump during a debate.
Started doing
Maybe.
this.
That
We
would
got
actually be
great equipment. We
hilarious.
bought the certain
Biden
dog
needs
that's
corn
the most
pop more than
incredible
ever. Oh,
thing
Corn
you've
Pop
ever
was a
seen,
bad
the way
dude,
they
Nate.
can
So
Corn
I
Pop
don't
was
know.
a bad
We did
dude.
a lot.
Listen,
We
I
were
love the
getting
conspiracy
very
theory
low
that Corn
numbers,
Pop was just trying to
very,
get him
very
to
low
not diddle
numbers.
kids at the
Then he
pool.
came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers
Corn Pop
now?
saw him letting
It's
kids
not
rub
only
his
the
fucking leg, and
18-year-old
he
Corn
tried
Pop
to
was like, stop having those kids rub your leg.
Corn Pop's actually a hero.
Yeah.
But the numbers
Can we get a shirt that says Corn Pop's
amount of
actually a hero?
drugs and human
Probably is
trafficking in women
Probably is one.
Human
coming
trafficking.
across our
Here we
border.
go.
The worst thing I've ever seen, at numbers that nobody's
Where's
ever
AOC
seen
crying
under him
about that,
because the
right?
border's so bad. But the number of drugs coming across our
There you
border
go.
now is the largest we've
got
ever
to it.
had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl and the byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we use them.
Because of COVID, you fucking
These
asshole.
big machines that roll over.
No one
everything
was
comes
doing
across the
anything.
border. And it costs a lot of money.
These
That
guys
was
really
part of
take
this
credit
deal we
for
put
the
together.
fact that a
This bipartisan
virus
deal.
shut down the
More
world and
fentanyl
fentanyl wasn't
machines,
flowing through
more-
that.
more
Great job,
able to
Joe.
take drugs,
Country shut
more,
down the
more
world.
numbers of
That's true. Yes.
agents, more numbers of all the people at the border. And when we had that deal done,
Oh,
he called his
Go.
Republican colleagues and said, "Don't do it. It's going to hurt me."
Don't do it. He
He
brought up,
never
don't
argued
do
it's
it.
not a good bill. It's a really good
Don't
bill.
do it.
So
need
he
those
brought up
machines.
the
We need
stupid
those
border bill
machines.
that they
They're
had.
coming down very hard. In
They're the
every
one that,
country
you know,
in
I
Asia
wanted to
in
get the
terms of
border. All he was going to
precursors
do
for
was say
fentanyl.
25K can
Mexico
come in,
is
or
working with us to make sure
250,
they don't have the technology to be able to
2,500
put
can
it
come in
together.
fucking
That's what
daily.
we have to
That
do.
was, or
We
whatever it was,
need those
monthly.
machines.
It was going to
Thank
be
you,
something
President
like
Biden.
that.
And
He was going
President
to
Trump,
allow
and again, the question
thousands
is
in.
about Americans in the throes of addiction right now, struggling to get the treatment they need.
Please answer.
Because this does pertain to it. He ended Remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing.
In Mexico.
It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time we say it's a hostage. Now we have a hostage, the Wall Street Journal reporter. I think a good guy. And he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars
Probably,
for
yeah.
the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office.
Is he going to bring up
Before I
Ross
take
Ulbricht
office,
again
I
and try
said,
and get the libertarians on there
literally,
saying he's going
as
to
soon as I
vote
win
in
the
Ross?
election,
And
I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago. But Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time.
He really is Dr.
We had
Gil.
2 cases.
Billions
We paid $6
and
billion
billions. He needs to
for
do the
5
finger
people.
when he says it.
I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you.
Honestly,
President Biden,
you're
you
unhappy.
would be 86 at the end of your second term.
He's not going to
How do you
get there. I'm
address
sorry.
concerns
Oh shit! They're actually going to
about
ask the
your
age question.
capability
Good.
to handle the toughest job
Good
in
for
the
both of
world
them. They should ask this
well
question.
into your
Absolutely.
80s?
He can't do it
First
now.
of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in
Oh, my
politics.
God.
I was the second youngest person
Okay.
ever elected to the United
Doesn't make
States
a
Senate,
difference, though.
and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that this.
I mean, I don't think that holds true right now. Like, you can't say that with this debate
I
performance.
said 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing.
Oh my God, he actually said the
more
15 million new
investment in
jobs.
America,
Yeah, but
for
Like a
Brittany
Brittany
Griner.
Griner.
billions of dollars in private
You
investment.
mean Milli Vanilli?
And
We needed her back.
we are growing.
Oh,
by
my
the way,
God.
We brought an awful lot of people.
I wonder if 2K has her
The whole
having
idea
like
of computer
LeBron James
chips, we
come
used to have
back
40% of the market. We invented those chips.
I highly doubt it.
And we lost it.
because they like
he was
invented
sending
rim
people
grazer for her.
to
basically.
find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South Korea.
Once again,
I
thank you for
convinced
everyone
Samsung to
watching. We
invest
appreciate all of you on
billions of
YouTube, on
dollars here in the
Facebook,
United
on
States.
X,
And
watching the debate
guess
with
what?
us.
Those
He
fabs, they call
deflected
them,
and went to things, which
to
honestly,
release
that's
chips.
probably all I can
Those
really do.
fabs
I'm not
pay
gonna lie to you. Like, how do you
$100,000.
answer this
They
question?
need to
If you're him,
contribute
especially after his debate.
If you're
his
him, you
performance
can. If
tonight.
you're Trump, all you got to
$40
say is, hey, I go to
billion
rallies all the
invested
time when I'm
being
not being
built
caught
right
up in
now
court by this
in the
guy in
United
this
States,
banana
creating
republic.
significant
The
jobs
WNBA
for
2K.
Americans all over the
I mean,
That
they
would
have
not
a whole-
sell.
They have a whole
President Biden, you
WNBA
have
mode.
40 seconds
They had to
left.
put the
Would you like to add
WNBA
anything?
into
Yeah, I
NBA
would.
2K because
The
nobody would buy
idea that
WNBA.
Somehow we
But it's
are
such a great league and
this
it's getting
failing
record
country.
sales. By the way, I want to bring that up.
President talk like
It's not
this
fucking happening.
We're-
Okay,
we're
they're
the
not getting
NBA
record
world.
watches.
Name me a
They're
single
counting
major
scroll buys.
country
I
president
guarantee they're counting
who trade
scroll buys
places
as a
with the
watch.
United States of America.
And I'm
All
sorry,
our
I don't
problems
care
and
about
all our
Caitlin Clark. I don't
opportunities.
care about Angel
We're
Reese.
the most
I still don't want to
progressive
see
country in the
really
world
good
on getting
layups
things
and
done.
chest threes
We're
from
the
30 feet.
strongest country
That
in the
doesn't
world.
bother me.
We're a country in the world
Honestly,
that
like
keeps
I don't
our
give a
word,
fuck about the
and everybody
WNBA.
trusts
No one
us,
should.
all of our
It is a
allies,
boring
and
product.
our
In
and
person,
our-
women's
those who
basketball is
he
not bad. I used to like watching the Maris women.
Kim Jong-un
Pros are probably much better because people look quicker in person.
They don't want
on TV. I'd rather watch
Former
fucking
President Trump, to
Freighters,
follow up,
okay? Because they
you
do
would
the
be
same amount of
82
shots
at
in
the
layup.
end of your second
Fuck
term.
out of here, WNBA.
What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know.
Jesus Christ.
What is a cognitive? Like, I want to see what they are.
Just one,
What up?
a real easy one. Like, go through the first 5 questions. You couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams.
Yeah, they have
every year.
WNBA
And,
in
you know,
2K now.
Yeah, they
knock
do.
on wood,
It's
wherever we may have
in there. It's in
that I'm in
2K,
very good health.
and like
just
they
won
tried. I think
2
you can
club
play like the
championships,
women
not
versus
even
men in
senior.
All Star
2
too, and they like
regular
not
club
sure.
championships.
up.
To do that, you have to be
So
quite
stupid.
smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do
Talking
it.
about
He can't
golf.
hit a ball
Playing
50
golf.
yards. He
I love
challenged
it.
me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was
He's telling me
25, 30
fucking
years ago.
suck at
Actually, I'm
golf.
probably a little bit lighter.
His answer:
But I'm
why are you
as
better in
good
your
a
age?
shape as I
Joe
was,
sucks at golf.
Years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced him. Dr. Ronnie Jackson,
The
who's
best
a great
cognitive
guy
test
when he was
taker of all
White House
time.
doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace him.
Oh my!
Thank you.
I've
love
never
it.
seen anybody
love
ace.
him.
It's fucking
He is
insane,
6'5"
dude.
and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway,
No,
that's what anyway, just take a look at what he says.
I mean, that's what I think. His police thing said he was 215.
Look, I'd be happy to have a private contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6.
Oh my God, they're actually just talking about golf right
Oh,
now.
by the way, I
This is
told you
amazing,
I'm happy
actually.
to play golf if you carry your own bag.
If you carry your own bag,
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
There's 8 handicap.
this is actually
Well,
better
you
than
know,
most of the debate.
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Yeah,
Let's
you
do
know,
it.
you know,
President Trump
Let's not act like
This is
children.
this is
You're
with
fantastic.
specific concerns
You're arguing
that
about
voters
golf.
have about you. Will you pledge
This
tonight
is the
that once
oldest
all legal
one.
challenges have
This
been
is-
exhausted,
If
that
they
you
people
will
hate
accept
old
the
white
results
men,
of
this
this
is it.
election, regardless
This
of
is
who
the most old
wins?
white man thing I've
And
ever seen in my life.
you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable.
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable.
Oh my God!
And if you would
just
see my
argued about
statements
golf
that I
for
made
10
on
minutes.
Twitter at the time, and also my
This
statements I
is
made in
fire.
the Rose Garden,
It
you would
is-
say
it's a
one of the
dumpster fire, but it's a fire.
strongest
It
statements
is
you've ever
fire.
said, in addition
Oh
to
my
the
God,
speech
that
I
was
made.
hilarious. They
In
just
front
argued
of, I
about
believe,
golf.
the
I
largest
love
crowd
this.
I've ever spoken
Wild.
to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks
Oh
about
my
that.
God.
They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol.
Yeah, that's true. They
And
don't.
in many
they-
cases,
Yeah,
were
we'll
ushered
see if
in by
Biden
the
will
police.
denounce
And
Antifa.
as Nancy Pelosi
That was probably
said,
the
it was
best
her responsibility,
banter
not mine.
that
She
they
said
had.
that
They were
loud
actually
and
probably
clear.
friends there.
But the
Golf
answer
for
is
that
with
banter.
presidents.
the election is fair
I
and
mean,
free, and I
that would
want that
be.
more than
See,
anybody. And I'll
I
tell you
like
something.
There was the one guy
I
who was
wish
like
he
a
was a
wrestler
great
and challenged a guy to a
president, because I
fight.
wouldn't be here
I
right
like
now.
that. I think
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Tim Pass
At
was
one of my
talking about
many
that. They
places,
should settle
enjoying
issues by
myself.
having
I
like
wouldn't be
MMA
under
matches
indictment
in
because I
Congress.
wouldn't have been as
That was-
And that
powerful
if
as
you
my
I can't remember what
can't
country it was.
opponent.
if you
They
can't
were
have an
actually
MMA
a
match,
fight.
then you
because I was
can't
his
be in
opponent.
there. Like
I
that'd be
wish
great.
he
Like
was a great
watching Mitch
president.
McConnell get his
I would rather
fucking
have that.
get pushed in
I
would
wouldn't
be great because I
here.
hate that guy.
I don't mind being here, but the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing
He's
nation.
going back to the
And we're a
2015,
failing
2016
nation
stuff. It's the same
because
shit he
of
was
him.
saying.
His policies
Yeah.
are so bad.
Did we
His
have a second
military
commercial break? Am I going
policies
crazy? Did I
Yeah,
read
we
that
did.
article wrong?
No, we
They're
didn't have a second
insane.
one.
These are
Yeah.
wars that will never end with
But
him.
it's it's almost
He will
90
drive
minutes.
us into
Yeah,
World
that's what I'm
War
saying.
III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine.
Mark
We are
Wayne
very,
Knoll.
very
Yes, that
close
was
to
him.
World War III,
He's a fucking
and he's
madman.
driving us there. And
You're
Kim
here. You said
Jong-un
you'd fight me.
and
Let's go.
President
And they
Xi
shouldn't
of
let it
China,
happen.
Kim Jong-un of North Korea.
Yeah, and I hate the
all
fake
of these
decorum in those things.
Putin, they don't respect him.
Representative, that
They
is
don't
not
fear him.
appropriate.
They have nothing going with this gentleman,
awesome.
and
Let
he's
it
going to
happen.
drive us into
Wrong with
World
people.
War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a
What?
thing called Article 5. An attack on one is attack on all.
Yeah, but he's trying to get
Required
Ukraine to join it.
response.
He wants World
The
War III.
idea. I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done and what they've done. Because we are a powerful nation.
The
We're
hell does that
wonderful.
even
It's
mean?
because of
What is
the
he
Such a weird
people. Not
statement.
because of
Such a
American
weird
people.
statement.
They're capable of anything. and
There's
they
not a
step up
single
when
world
they're
leader in the
needed.
world that
Right
wouldn't
now,
trade with my
we need it.
places. What?
We need it
The
to protect
thing
the
is, like
world
that
because
thing
of
about
our
the
own
American
safety is at
people
stake.
would hit
And
harder if he actually was patriotic during his presidency. But he hasn't been. He just hasn't been patriotic, hasn't been unifier, hasn't been anything of that. So it doesn't hit well.
The thing is, he has his record of calling out 75 million people.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was,
curious if we're going to get final questions soon.
The results of this election, regardless of who wins.
Just to finish what he said.
Maybe he didn't say,
Russia.
I'll give her that.
They took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump. Nothing. He knew not
from
to
Trump in third person.
I love third person.
He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing.
That's a good idea.
Right here.
A world leader golf match.
That's a war that should have never
do like a world leader golf
started ever.
Where they just
world leader.
And he's going to take Ukraine.
That'd be awesome.
And, you asked me a question before, would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia.
Okay.
Because Ukraine's not winning
That's
that
fine.
war.
Let's just answer the question and end it, Trump. You're good here. You don't need to keep going.
They've lost so many people. It's
he's hammering it home.
He's hammering home, but we've gone over it. I would honestly, I would like
all because of him and
your
stupid
question. Let
decisions.
Biden fucking
Russia would have never attacked.
This is the good thing, honestly. This not interrupting benefited Biden because Trump had interrupted Biden so much last of those debates.
Honestly, it benefited
both.
both.
Legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted.
I was listening to Jim Cass yesterday, and they were saying that Trump should just goad him when his mic's off. Just be like, "You're a bitch, Biden. You're a terrible father." Just get him to get angry.
I will absolutely. There's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else in a nice location someplace.
I mean, that's the biggest defense that he has.
That's
no political opponent stuff.
But here's the thing.
It's the only way he
it's more real than it ever was, right? Because he was president already. He doesn't have to come back. Obviously, his ego is always going to make him come back, right?
Your numbers are.
He really could just go sit in Mar-a-Lago and just do fucking nothing.
You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country.
I mean,
not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit.
I mean,
or local.
Trump should come back and be like, they have been coming back left and right over the past 3 years, saying that there's been absolute abnormalities in Arizona. They've come back.
Evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept
Biden's
it because
completely
you're such
off
a
base
whiner.
here.
The idea, if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
Talking about loser Biden, you lost 3 times.
With more from the CNN.
I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be closing right after.
It's got to be closing statements right after.
Yeah.
I wonder. Hold on. Look closely. Can we see any staffers rushing on? Damn it, they went away.
I would say
they have the studio there on the side, so I guess they're like showing you.
I would say that was probably. I mean, it was a bit better for Biden there. He didn't look as old as he did in the first part, but he still looked bad.
This second round, he still looked bad. He didn't have the gaffes up. I haven't in the beginning. He had
a couple. Still had a couple.
But you know what though? The gaffes he had were a little more reasonable for somebody talking long times. Right? Trump is an exceptional speaker, which makes people look worse. Trump's very good at public speaking. Like it's kind of similar. Like Obama was really good at public speaking. Like they can go without a lot of like stutters and a lot of like things. Like I feel like Biden had a kind of more normal performance where catching his thoughts kind of sometimes like slowed him up. But he was
the biggest issue that is happening right now, and the reason why Trump is winning the debate is Trump is actually pulling Biden into everything that Trump wants to talk about, which is insane. Something that you would never want to happen to your candidate. But it just that golf debate shows it. He did it with the biggest heart on stage thing, and he did it with the golf debate, which is dumb as hell, was hilarious to watch. But he's pulling Biden into anything, literally anything that he wants to talk about. So because Biden has no damn reason to talk about his handicap, but Trump is pulling him into it and making it all just an absolute mockery.
This might be the tweet of the night. Daniel Dale, who is one of the biggest bitches and constantly fact check Trump, cannot fact check this golf exchange.
That's a pretty good one.
Daniel Dale, well done, Daniel Dale. You're pretty terrible at your job, but overall, well done with that one because yeah, that golf exchange is great. But you know what though? It's like people are going to sit there, and the thing is too, they're going to sit there and be like, "This is why I don't like politics because they're just arguing about this," and it's like, I'd rather see them sometimes go into shit like this because it shows that they're real people a little bit, right? Like, I get it. You want to hear like the hard hitting stuff, and honestly, again, I don't like Jake Tapper. I don't like Dana Bash, but they've been pretty good about keeping on top.
They've done well. I would say they've done well. I like. Obviously, they had questions that we wouldn't ask.
No,
for some of those, like the climate one and everything like that. But at least if we would, we'd ask about nuclear. But I would say they've done well. They haven't really, honestly. They actually probably cut off Biden more than they have Trump.
And on top of that, they're not being douchebags about them not answering the questions. They ask a second time.
Yeah.
If they don't want to answer it a second time, okay, move on. They're not like where we've seen other ones try and make it and be very confrontational with Trump specifically. To try and be like, answer the question. Like, no, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to ask you the question again. They don't answer it. Okay, President Biden, your turn. And they've been like,
I would say they've been pretty good.
Credit is due.
Expectations on Tapper were low. That is very true. That is true. The expectations were low, but I'm still going to give him credit for being better than what we expect them to be.
They were better than Chris Wallace already. They've been better than CNN's been in the past. They were better than Megyn Kelly. Honestly,
like you said, it may be because of the setup. It may be because of how it's done, but it is better than we've seen.
Neither of them are flustered because they can also sit there, and I feel like
they did look a little sad about how Biden's doing. I'm not going to lie, they looked a little morose.
Definitely a little morose, but also I just believe too, like
predetermined by a coin toss. We're going to begin with you, President.
I guess
Biden,
these are the
you have 2 minutes.
Okay, let's see what Biden has to say here.
We've made significant progress from the debacle, though, by President Trump in his last term. We find ourselves in a situation where,
see if you can talk for 2 minutes straight.
We have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes and will not. And if I'm reelected,
I mean, you're just putting 87,000 IRS agents to come out and fuck with everyone.
Taxes because of the deficit. Number one, he's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after
he's not president.
He handled the pandemic.
Biden's doing this final thing as if Trump's the president. He's trying to beat Trump for the presidency again.
Comes to the United States of America.
He's like, this is acting as if Trump is in charge.
Well, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies.
That was bad.
You got through it. You got through it better than I thought he would.
I thought he was done. He's struggling right now.
For insulin instead of $400, no more than $2,000.
No Hitler bombs or PP tapes yet.
No matter what,
I mean, I think Biden's team probably told him that's not going to work.
That reduced the
and that I think Tapper's trying to avoid it because he's called him Hitler enough.
Over 10 years.
I think they're trying here with that one.
Prices. I'm going to make that available to every.
Biden looks awful. This is the worst I've seen him all night.
He's trying his closing, and I mean,
in America.
He's not. Get rid of that. He doesn't have a lot of argument here. That's the issue. The economy's this bad, you're not going to have much to go with.
I'm going to make sure we do something.
He's not even saying it. He can't even say it.
Lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems.
I want another better calf care, though.
We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation.
Hasn't brought up cancer.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
See,
like so many politicians, he's just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to go on. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah.
I mean, these are simple things to hit on.
Whatsoever.
He's on the right thing. Maybe hanging on Iran a little bit too much.
He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it for 3.5 years.
But I mean, that definitely should have hit the cannibalized.
Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville.
Should have hit the cannibalized a little harder. Yes, he should have.
1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you. Because they don't respect you.
It's 100 times Charlottesville.
They respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. what we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest
He didn't
tax cut
mention
in
crossing
history,
the
the
DMZ
largest
alone.
regulation cut.
If he
in
did
history.
earlier,
The
I don't
reason
remember it,
he's
but like,
got
yeah, we
jobs
might
is
have missed
because I
it,
cut
but
the
I'm
he
gonna
might have missed
regulations
it, but
and
he
gave
certainly
jobs.
should have
But he's
brought up
putting a
like,
lot of those
I walked
regulations
across
back
one of the
on.
most dangerous
All
areas
of the things that
while
we've
we are
done,
still at
nobody's
war with
never
this
seen
country.
anything like.
We
Even
are only
from
in a
the medical
ceasefire with
standpoint,
North
right
Korea.
to try, where we
And
can
I
try
entered in. Like,
space age
I don't
materials
think
instead
people
of going
realize
to
how
Asia
big that is. The
or
fact that
going
we're still
to
at
Europe
war
and
with
trying
North
to
Korea.
get when you're
It's
terminally
only a
ill.
ceasefire.
Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers,
I wonder if they're going
instead
to
of
cut him
waiting
off.
for 3
I
months
feel
to
like he's
see a
nowhere near
doctor,
finishing.
can go out and get
Yeah.
themselves fixed up and
I feel like
readied
they're
up
going to let him
and
go.
take
Look,
care of
I
themselves.
mean, they've
And
been
they're living.
fair
And
in
that's why I
terms
had
of
the highest
time.
approval rating in the history
I
of the
feel like if you
VA.
look at
So
time, they've
all of
been
these
pretty
things,
fair.
we're in a
Just
failing
both of them
nation,
talking.
but it's
Yeah,
not going to be
it
failing
seems
anymore.
like it.
We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate.
Okay.
Anderson
Analysis.
Cooper
All right.
and Aaron Burnett starts
Get out of here.
now
Okay.
on CNN.
Get out of here with that. So we can so we'll so Dave, what are your thoughts on the debate?
I thought it was terrible for Biden. Absolutely awful for Biden. He looked his age. He's been showing there's no cheap fake about this one. Nothing good happened for Biden there, really. And yeah, Trump was on tonight. He really was. He was surprisingly. What is happening? Oh, I'm sorry. I have it still open in my tab. I started hearing noise. But yeah, Trump was on tonight. He was surprisingly disciplined, but also Trump. It was a really good performance, one we haven't seen in a while, which I'm honestly surprised about. They both ducked the age question, which is not surprising.
That's fine.
They're going to both.
They argued about golf.
They're both.
You know what? Honestly, that was the best thing that
was the age question right there.
That was beautiful. They argued about fucking golf.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
It's exactly what two old rich white men probably would do when asked about how are you doing with your age. I can still swing a golf club. Like that's pretty on par.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you going to do? They both are way too old, to be quite honest. Trump does have the energy, but how long does it last? 1 year could mean a lot. So they're both way too damn old. But Trump looked great. Wildly, he looked like I said, a lot better than I thought he might, because he hasn't been exactly the greatest on the debate stage recently.
No,
but yeah, that was fucking good by him. And Biden really just hung himself. It was bad. It would have been better if Trump was allowed to interrupt too much, because like in 2020, Trump interrupted too much, made things worse.
Yeah.
This time he wasn't able to. So Biden was just out there stammering, looking old. And it actually just hindered him a lot.
And honestly, it was Trump was much more calculated than we've seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
And he was able to, and I think honestly, not interrupting benefited him, because you saw him bite his tongue a few times, and then he was able to think of his rebuttal, and his rebuttals were good. That smirk, oh my God. Yeah. The rebuttals were good. I thought he stayed on topic and hit Biden, and was sometimes hit him multiple times at the same thing on his weakest points.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Biden was awful. And the Democrats can't go forward with him. You can't go forward with him. Like, you absolutely.
I think they're going to at this point. But if there was a way to get out of it, it was tonight. If there was a way to get out of it, it's like, oh man, we all saw that one, didn't we?
And it's like the biggest value is he survived and he was cogent. Like, he answered every question. He was on topic. Like, he rambled sometimes. He stuttered. He made up some shit.
He lost it. I would say more like the first half, which is wild, but the first half he was more off key and off balance, and he was in the second half. And maybe we might have missed some things, because I might look through Twitter and see a lot of shit that we missed, but it seemed like he was a little more in focus in the second half.
Maybe Trump making fun of him made him kind of like perk up.
Yeah, it might have perked him up.
He's not going to let me get he's not going to let me get off, and he's a fucking dickhead. So like, I think that maybe that like woke him up. Like, I'm not going to get off easy here like I normally do.
He'll dog cracking your knuckles right now, dog. If Nate, I'm telling you right now, if we got Hillary versus Biden again, that would be one of the funniest fucking things.
You
might not be great for
Trump?
our country. Hillary versus Trump. I'm Biden right now. That's my bad. But Hillary versus Trump again, that'd be incredible. That'd be so fucking funny.
I mean, Hillary's probably their worst option, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
You go with Gavin Newsom over Hillary. And Gavin Newsom's a terrible option. So it's like, I don't know. You don't do Hillary, even though Hillary makes it seem like she's been trying to get in there. And
no, she has. She has.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is if they come in and they'd say like Hillary Kamala, the first ever women ticket, you'd be double bigoted if you don't vote for that.
Hillary and Kamala, both of their laughs.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Look, honestly,
that's torture.
I may actually vote for that. I would just sit there and I would only want them to, like, they would have to have a cackle off once a month.
I want to watch the world burn.
They would have a cackle off once a month. Just, like once a month. Like we would need it. I want that now. Please, Hillary run. I will vote for Hillary. I will vote for Hillary if she runs with Kamala. Has to be with Kamala. Big Mike.
Yeah, Big Mike is, if they are going to replace Biden, Big Mike might be the most plausible option of getting them to win.
I mean,
whether or not she wants it, whether or not. But yeah, I don't think they're going to pull him. I've been persuaded into them not pulling him. But like I said, if there's any reason, tonight's a good reason.
If they don't pull him, then I feel like my conspiracy theory about them really focusing on the House and Senate to impeach and remove Trump, not just impeach him, but impeach and remove him, I think becomes more plausible because there's nothing else. Because you're going to, especially after this debate, of course, you're going to make it look like it. You're going to try and spend the money because it's a presidential debate, right? But they're not going to actually try. If they're going to keep Biden, you can't try. It's a waste of resources to actually try and get this man voted in again. Like, you have to, number one, cheat. They will go into cheat mode again. And we're going to see it. Right now, especially after this debate, anyone who's a conservative commentary, conservative journalist, get your ear to the ground on leftist AGs in swing states. A lot of the same things, judges that are leftists that can be swayed, and start looking now about the kind of things that they are trying to do for this election, because they are going to try to think of something else. David loves a Hawk Tua girl. You're so tired of Hawk Tua.
Oh my God, I am tired of Hawk Tua. The meme was all right first. She's completely correct. I think she's fine. Like, she's completely correct in that statement. That her joke was funny at the time, but just the repetitiveness, I don't think it's that good of a meme to get it that much.
I do like, and it's getting overused, but I won't talk to her unless you Hawk Tua. Like, I do like that one.
That's all right.
That's pretty good. People are using it, but it's the Democrats are in trouble. Now we'll see. I think Trump's VP pick wasn't locked. I think it was depending on how the debate went tonight. Maybe, I think he was trying to see, like, do I really need somebody? Like, does Biden do well enough to kind of push that needle back, right? Because all the Democrats need is a pulse, and they're going to vote for him, right? Because it's anyone but Trump type of thing. They didn't get a pulse tonight. They didn't. They got a flicker and Prozac eyes. That's all they got. And I think it's going to depend on that. Like, I think Ben Carson might have more of an in, because I think Trump sees, I don't need a bombastic person.
Yeah, like I don't need Vivek. I don't need
Vivek. I don't need JD Vance. I don't need these individuals that are going to be fiery with me. I need somebody who could just stay on course.
Yeah, I do want to say Young Turks are losing it right now over the performance.
I mean, if I'm Cenk Uygur right now, I am going, how did I lose to that guy? And if you're a leftist right now and you're looking at that, you should be kicking yourself for not voting for Cenk Uygur, because Cenk Uygur would have been a significantly better option to put on that debate stage. Now he's a psycho, and Trump would have just laughed at him half the time.
According to Pastor Daryl Scott, CNN on post debate analysis saying, in a nutshell, that Joe got his ass whooped in the debate.
What else can you say?
I mean, we've seen him spin a lot of things, so it wouldn't have been surprising if they'd really tried to defend the way he did tonight. But yeah, it's been rough. It's been absolutely rough.
I mean, it's just they can't defend it. They can't. And I would love to see what Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid are saying right now. Yeah. They're going to go some sort of racist route or sexist route. And the thing is, though, Trump was safe. Trump didn't say anything that could be even construed as bigoted tonight, really. And he usually gets one or two. But so Nate, Vivek needs to be in the cabinet, actually have some power.
He might be. He might be. I agree, but I think he might be because he's been really in touch with the Trump camp.
I kind of like the Rand Paul move. If you want to pull in the libertarians and guarantee you get that group, and guarantee you get the people that hate Fauci, there you go. There you go. You pull in Rand, and Rand has never been like fully like. I don't think I've ever truly heard him disparage Trump. Maybe disagreed with him, but
putting the Trump wig back.
It's the Hillary wig. Thank you very much. Oh my God. I thought her show was getting canceled.
I don't know, man. I don't know what happens over there.
Like MSLSD, they really are on it if they keep that woman on. Like, what are we doing here? But anyway, that was
been a long one. I hope Nate, since you've been active, I hope you enjoyed this coverage of the debate. Everyone else who has been watching or has watched, I hope they enjoyed as well.
Yes, we we appreciate everyone on X, Facebook, YouTube. Once again, for the audio people, we're sorry. We just kind of responded, and I thought we had some good banter and good commentary, but we were just kind of responding to what was going on. We'll see if we ever get our first strike ever, and we'll see if we're back next week. If we are back, if we are not, we apologize to our guest ahead of time. Who is it gonna? It was gonna be it's gonna be someone that would have been relevant to this. So we'll see if we're there. I'm not even gonna talk about it, but Nate, we love you. Thank you for jumping in. We love that you love the show, and start telling your friends to watch too. Have some watch parties. Let's do it. Make it fun. Make it weird. Let's do that. So make it weird. Make it weird. We make it weird here all the time. But yeah. So thank you for everyone for watching. We did something different today. We were going to go the route. We were going to talk about our buddy Stuttering Craig trying to become the editor-in-chief at Kotaku. And
we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll bring it up. Maybe we'll do a special episode at some point, Dave. Yeah. And we'll talk about something. Mikal Bridges trade with the Nets and Knicks, and I was going to wallow, but this debate, David was having too many funny reactions in the beginning to not just go to it.
You can't blame me. You can't blame me. You watched it.
The first thing, I can't wait to watch this back because the first thing we get is just Biden like,
yeah.
That was the first thing we go into is Biden with the fucking stupid face. So it was like it was a perfect moment to jump in. And I mean, Dave, in the end, I think my final thing is I think this went about as everyone expected it to go. And I think it went worse. And a little bit
worse. I think it went worse than people expected to go.
Because I think people thought that Biden was going to be hopped up on so much that he was going to just be more competent.
Yeah, he would still look lost, but like not as lost as he did tonight. That's my thing.
And the thing is, and I will say this, Trump being a dick makes Biden focus. So Trump being there helped Biden a few times because when Biden gets pissed is the only time he can actually focus. So like Trump calling him out and basically saying like he sucks at everything. And the most coherent Biden was about golf. I mean, that was great. And I'm not gonna I'm gonna hang on that. That was honestly golden.
Yeah.
Golden. Like people are gonna get mad at that golf.
Might have to clip that out. That's
fantastic.
Right.
But yeah, overall, thank you everyone for watching. We appreciate it. We are an hour and 42 minutes long. Probably one of our longest shows we've ever done. But we appreciate everyone for watching. We'll be back next week. If you like what you watch, please subscribe on YouTube. Repost and follow on X. If you're on Facebook, give us a follow there. Spread the show word of mouth. We'll be back with a guest next week. We're gonna have a good time there. And Biden call